when it's recording. See, I can pause and stuff, and I
Think we're
can even
good.
edit this shit
Oh,
out.
I
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Cool.
See. So, okay. Hello, everyone. I am Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns Stranger Things rewatch to get revved up for the pending premiere of the first half of season 5, which I believe premieres. If you're watching this, today is November 25th, Tuesday. It premieres tomorrow, November 26th.
That's crazy.
At what, 7 Central or
Yeah, 8 p.m. 7 Central. Yeah. So tomorrow night, basically. So we are. Gosh, I feel like in some ways, season 4 feels like just happened yesterday. In other
With me
ways,
is
it feels
Tyler.
like
Sorry.
Oh, hi. And I don't know. In other ways, it feels like it's been like so long, like since season 4. So I can't believe like we're on the eve of the new season of Stranger Things. We needed like a little more time to get through like watching this season. And I don't say get through in terms of like I had to get through it. Like I freaking love this season, but it's a juggernaut.
Every episode of season 4 is 94 minutes. Okay. We're getting into the new era like of the challenge and Survivor pushing the boundaries of my attention span. Because at a certain point, I'm watching it and I'm like, this has got to be ending soon. Right? Jesus.
But hey, no matter how drawn out it is, I'm still enjoying it way more than I enjoyed the morning show or any other garbage that's on TV right now. I don't know. I freaking love season 4. It is so freaking good.
The only thing that has come close to me getting this excited, insert your own joke here. Welcome to Derry on HBO Max is.
I still need to check that out.
Jesus, dude, it's blowing my mind. I am so like I stayed off the internet and everything yesterday because I didn't watch it Sunday night, and I waited till I got home. If you noticed, it was very quiet in the chat. Allison was avoiding everything because I didn't want it spoiled, because we're about to start halfway we're almost done with the season. I think like 3 episodes, 4 episodes, I don't know, but it's amazing. It's great. And I have a feeling that you're going to be doing a watch of this show with me in the future. I really
probably after Stranger Things is done. Like I think that'll be like the next thing that I like sink my teeth into, because I really liked it. Part 1 and part 2, like the remakes that they did. And I trust HBO to do it right and do it justice. So I definitely want to check it out. I just like my whole everything going on up here. Like my wedding season is done. Like work is winding down. I'm literally just like Stranger Things is like the only thing like going on up here in my brain. So I'm so excited.
Brain.
Yeah. All right. Well, so are we ready to jump into it?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, cool. So, very first intro shot of season 4, like let's set the stage again, right? Like, so, this feels like forever ago, but, we saw like Hopper, he gets like sent through that portal, like, cause he's stuck on the other side of that like big laser machine at the basement of the Starcourt Mall. And so who knows where Hopper is at? Who knows? And Joyce and Will and Eleven and Jonathan are all moving to California. So that's kind of like the stage that we're setting heading into season 4. So the very first intro shot is a very young Eleven in the Rainbow Room, and Dr. Brenner asks another kid, number 10, for some lessons. And something attacks everything on the inside of the Rainbow Room and kills everyone, including 10, except for Dr. Brenner. And he finds 11 in the Rainbow Room with all these dead bodies around her. Who knows what happens? And this is kind of like we get into a lot of the lore of 11's past and like Dr. Brenner's like experiments, and how spoiler, Vecna is involved in all of that as well. So how we're gonna kind of like segment talking about these episodes is we're gonna go through like the California / Utah stuff. We'll go through like the Russia stuff, but the real meat and potatoes, in my opinion, is like all of the stuff that's like happening at Hawkins.
Look, so we're going to be running up that hill.
We are.
Okay, we're going to be running up that hill.
Yes, running up that hill.
If I can make a deal with God, okay, I'd put you
freaking
in my
love that
shoes. Anyway,
song.
it's a great song.
So yeah, and then once we get to like the plan and the execution of attacking Vecna, that's where I'm gonna just go in like chronological, because like Hopper is like killing the Demogorgon at the same time as like the vines are like, you know what I mean? So like it's all like sequential, like once we get to like the big plan.
This is a web. This lives
Yeah.
up to I did not grow a tail, by the way. My cat just, JoJo's got to be involved.
Oh, I know.
JoJo's the only family member that's aware that we're doing a show about anything.
Shout out to your son. He suggested that, maybe you should recap Stranger Things before
Do
the
you
new
know
season.
how many, not to get ADD started, but do you know how many times I've had people say, Allison, you should cover this and you should do that. And I'm like,
you should check out my channel because I already
done
did
it already, or I'm doing
Exactly.
it now.
Exactly.
Jeez, thanks for the support. Weren't you subscribed to my channel? Yeah, but I got tired of all the notifications. Let's just talk about Stranger Things. We don't. My family as a whole is like is a whole other
That's
Stranger
a whole separate
Things
upside down dimension
itself.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna start in California. So we start with 11 writing a letter to Mike. California Dreaming is like playing in the background. She's looking forward to him visiting and making like a visual aid. What's it, like a diorama of Hopper. Joyce is a phone encyclopedia salesperson. Will is making a painting for someone. Elle says that he might like a girl, but he's acting weird about it. Jonathan is smoking lots of weed and waiting for his college acceptance letter and hoping Nancy gets hers too. We get our first shot of Argyle. This is Jonathan's new, very stoner-friendly friend.
Love Argyle so much that I'm very upset. He's not in the season 5 trailers.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm not onto you, Netflix.
He confirmed that he is not a part of season 5 at all, which I think is weird because like he drives that pizza van all the way to Hawkins. Like he's in the epilogue of season 4. I'm like, so he drove all the way to Hawkins like with like no money, and he's just gonna like turn around and be like, see ya? I don't know.
They left him there. They actually left him there, and they all went back to Hawkins and left him. And he's like, okay, what am I doing?
Exactly. I guess back to making pineapple pizza, I guess. But I don't know. So 11, she's like really exaggerating to Mike though, like that she has a great life. She has all these friends, like she's popular at school, like things are just thriving. And she can't wait for him to visit for spring break. Joyce then gets a mysterious package with a bunch of weird postage on it. And she opens it right away, and it's a Russian doll, which is really weird. Back at school, 11 is about to present her diorama. This bitch named Angela goes first, and she chooses Helen Keller as her hero.
Isn't it always a bitch named Angela? Everyone say hi to Daisy, for God's sake.
Hi, Daisy.
They're eating my microphone. Look at your spirit animal.
Her coat is so pretty.
Okay, sorry. Just so you know, for the record, it's always a bitch named Angela. It always is. Am I right?
Yeah,
am I right?
I hate this girl. Like, she is like one of the worst, if not the worst character on Stranger Things. And honestly, she gets what's coming to her.
And there's some pretty bad ones. That is a high bar. That is a high bar.
Because so Elle like goes next to present her project. She chooses Hopper as her hero. And Angela, she is just such a cunt in the scene. Like, she raises her hand. She's like, I'm sorry. I thought the rules of the assignment were to make about a famous person, and Hopper's not famous. And Ella's just like holding back tears, holding back embarrassment.
My dad.
She's like, this is my dad. He died in a fire. And poor 11. Like, she also like I feel like her clothes are really like showcasing like how rough she's into. Like, she looks frumpy and like miserable.
I just want to point out.
Yeah.
These are 100% Joyce hand-me-downs. She is dressed just like Joyce, down to the haircut.
Yeah.
Have you know? I know
it's all bad.
It's not something I noticed at first, but then on the reel, I was like, my God, she's literally mirroring Joyce.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. Why not? A writer's beautiful. But yeah, it's
not cute.
Look, I get it. I was bullied. I got picked on. I didn't dress like everybody else.
Yeah.
What
And
else?
it sucks. Like, of course,
Yeah.
like we also like have to remember like Elle has like lost her powers at the end of season 3 from that bite. So she is just like, what?
Which isn't funny, but it's not funny. It's not funny. But when she goes after the whole English presentation
Yeah.
thing, she walks out in the, the outside with all the other kids switching classes, and Angela, little bitch ass, trips her, and she gets
Breaks her diorama.
yeah, breaks her diorama, and Elle gets up and goes, "Hey, Angela,
Angela! And she puts her hand out.
and everybody's
And
like, "Oh my god, what?" Terrible.
and it's so like secondhand embarrassment because like of course like nothing happened and like all
Yeah.
the kids just laugh at her like thinking that she's
Terrible.
a freak.
Terrible.
Joyce finds a ransom note inside the Russian doll, and it says that Hopper is alive. So Joyce is now on a mission to go save Hopper wherever he's at. And that's all the California stuff for episode 1. So back in Hawkins, we see Nancy driving Mike to high school. Dustin is still long distance with Susie. She changes his grade from a D to an A, and she's very disappointed in Dusty Buns. Steve and Robin are driving to school together, and Robin's talking about her crush on this gal, Vicky, because she returned her Fast Times at Ridgemont High tape, paused at the 53-minute mark, which is that when she like gets out of the swimming pool in the red bathing suit, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because Phoebe Cates back in the 80s, quick 80s lesson.
I knew you would have this reference better than me.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High put a lot of actors on the map. Sean Penn, Nicolas Cage, Judge Reinhold. You had Sarah, one of the Jennifer Jason Leigh, Sarah Jessica Parker, and her frizzy hair, and you had a couple of other. Should I say Sean Penn? Yeah, and Phoebe Cates. It put Phoebe Cates on the map as a babe.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a great. It's a good movie. It's kind of timeless. Like you can just watch it, and it's just dumb and funny. But everybody can kind of relate to every character.
Yeah. And so of course, like we have to remember this is like back in the 80s in like a small town. So like you kind of have to use like context clues to like figure out if somebody is gay. Like Vicky can't just go up to Robin and be like, "Hey, I'm into girls. Yeah. Let's date." So I don't know, just all of this like coded language and stuff is very like of the time. But like so Robin and Steve, they work at the video store together, and they notice that Vicky like returned her tape like paused to that timestamp. So interesting. We cut to Max. She's looking really down. The school therapist tells her that she missed her appointment. She wants to see her this afternoon because her grades are slipping too. We see Chrissy, one of the head cheerleaders. She does a cheer routine at the pep rally. And we see Lucas is now on the basketball team. And we get our first intro to this guy named Jason. He is the head of the baseball team. He is very much so like motivational speaker in like a brainwashy, scary way.
No, is he the leader of the basketball team too?
He's like I don't know what the equivalent, I don't know what the title of this is, but like how like the quarterback is like the lead of a football team. That's like him for the
Okay, I just want to say it's so cute watching you struggle talk about sports. Let me jump in for a minute here.
I played basketball.
Jason is the lead of the he's the head person, and I don't even know of the basketball team. He plays all the other sports as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're at a
he's like a
rally.
big honcho. He's
a big honcho. The pep. He's the team captain. Okay, mm-hmm. It's a team captain. Jesus, team captain like me. I'm the team captain of this ship. Give me a break.
So he gives this like motivational speaker speech. Like it's been a tough year for Hawkins. So much loss. He tells everybody to think of Heather, to think of Billy. Think of Jim Hopper, and we need to win for them, as if like a basketball game is like any like it doesn't really matter that much. I'm sorry.
How long was Billy enlisted in Hawkins High? Literally 6 months.
Yeah. Jason doesn't give a shit about Billy. Come
Yeah,
on.
how often did he show up and we're gonna
Yeah.
dedicate something to him? Okay. Okay, Jason.
Jason's that type of guy that like he thinks so highly of himself, and he thinks
Mhm.
he's like the like savior, like the like leading man to like, I don't know, just be like on top of the world, and everybody needs to like, he's like a future politician. Like that's kind of like the
Well,
vibe that I get from him.
Jason is one of those guys that if someone died at school, a student died, and he would act like he was their best friend. He never had anything to do with them, just so he could get attention. I
Hmm.
hate that. That's
Yeah.
Jason. But yeah.
Um, Lucas tells the boys that he doesn't want to be a loser anymore, like now that he's in high school. So he wants to attend this like big game, and they need to ask Eddie to change the Hellfire campaign date.
I'm
And
sorry, Tyler, how would you feel if I came up to you and I said, Tyler, I don't want to be a loser anymore. I'm not doing this podcast anymore. You're a loser. I don't want to be a loser.
I would say I would do the same thing as the boys. Like, we're gonna continue on with the game, and if you want to be there, be there.
You'd find a much younger replacement, which would probably be my grandson or my nephew. My nephew.
me and Cloud.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you know, a little tension in the party, like now that we're in high school and stuff. Then Running Up That Hill starts playing, and we get some shots of emo Max. Like, she's really going through it here. She won't talk to Lucas. She passes Chrissy looking very scared and upset about something. She goes to the counselor to discuss her grade slipping, and Max tells her that her mom's working 2 jobs and single again. She's drinking a lot. Her stepfather left after Billy died, and she gets asked about like all these like headaches and nightmares that she might be having, and Max just lies and says like, no, I'm feeling fine, I'm good, just to like get out of this like uncomfortable situation, like talking about her feelings and stuff. But she very much so is suffering from lots of headaches and nightmares and everything. She's like popping Tylenol like 24/7. Lucas then catches her in the hallway after this appointment and invites her to the big game. He tries being honest about how she's not present and something's wrong, and she just says that she's changed and they're broken up and he needs to accept that. She then goes to the bathroom to take some Tylenol. She hears Chrissy puking in the bathroom, and she tries to see what's up, but Chrissy tells Max to leave. And this is our first like Vecna hallucination of the season. So we see like the bathroom door like banging. We see her mom being like, "Oh, Chrissy, you need to try on the dress again.
She's got
I've
an eating
loosened it for you."
disorder. Yeah,
Exactly.
she's got
Yeah.
issues. Yeah.
So Vecna is like trying to get into her mind by like hallucinating like all of her like biggest insecurities and stuff. It's all of it is very like this whole season is very like Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger kind of feeling to me. It's like a big draw of inspiration for this season. We then get our first shot of this infamous Eddie, the lead of the Hellfire Club, and the table at lunch. We see Jason call him a freak, and so we already see like right away that like Jason and Eddie are 2 very different guys in very different social circles in high
Just
school.
totally. But 86 is the year, baby. Even though he said it the last 2 years, it's
Yeah.
86.
So Dustin and Mike ask if they can move Hellfire, and Eddie tells them no. You need to find like a sub for Lucas tonight. We then get this like fun little like montage of like Nancy and Jonathan justifying to their friends that they're too busy to visit each other over spring break.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
exactly.
even care. We don't need to address it. It's fine.
Yeah. So then we get this funny montage of like Mike and Dustin. They ask like literally everybody in Hawkins like to be the sub for D&D. They ask
nobody
Nancy,
wants to do it.
Steve, some wrestler, Max, a scientist who says like it's demonic. Everybody says no, and then Dustin like he asks Erica, and luckily Erica says yes.
But the money shot is the Star Spangled Banner being played by just a guitar, a rock guitar, with her wrapped in the American flag, walking down the hallway with Dustin and Mike. And that to me, just, I loved it. I thought it was great. I just, you know, I thought it was a great scene. It was a money
I
shot.
really love Erica's like growth into like being a nerd and like being a part of the party. Like
Nerd.
she loves it. She loves it. Like she can't even like hide it anymore. Chrissy meets Eddie in the woods.
I love this whole scene.
Mhm.
I
They
I'm
have some
sorry.
chemistry.
I loved this scene between Chrissy and Eddie. Eddie, to me, I knew in high school, I knew guys like Eddie who looked
Yeah.
scary and they were judged. And then when you sat down next to them, they were big old softies. They'd do anything for you. They were so sweet. I personally don't judge a book by its cover because
Mhm.
I myself have been judged. I get it.
Of
And
course.
you never really, if I had judged people by the way they looked in school, I would have missed out on some great friendships. I don't roll like that. And
Yeah.
just to see the sweet scene between Chrissy and Eddie, I remember watching it for the first time thinking, man, if these two end up together, that's going to be awesome. But little did I know.
Yeah. So she's in the woods, like she sees like a clock, like kind of molded into like a tree, and she meets up with Eddie to buy some drugs from him. And you're right, like he is so like I'm not judging, like and like I said, like I feel like there's like a little bit of
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
chemistry there. Um,
definitely.
kind of into it. She like he offers her weed, and she's like, I think I need something stronger than that. Like these hallucinations and these nightmares are I just want to have like a restful sleep. He says, all right, like let's go to my like trailer. Like we have some harder stuff there. At the big game, we see Tammy Thompson, who is Robin's crush from last season that Steve said can't sing. She's
Oh,
back
it's
from
terrible.
Nashville to give the national anthem, and it's really
Nashville
bad.
sent her back.
Yeah. We get like Robin like talking to Vicky about like how she used to have a crush on her, but like she's not a good singer. And then she like catches herself like rambling, and Vicky's like, "What?" I don't know. It's like awkward, but like cute. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on Robin and Vicky watch. I love them.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
I also love that Erica. So she's like going through her credentials with Eddie at the D&D campaign.
Because
She's like,
Eddie's like, "No, what the hell is this? I'm not babysitting."
yeah, and she says, I'm a chaotic good level 14 rogue. I will be stealthy and I will stab everybody in the back. And he's really impressed by that speech. So he
Oh, wait,
welcomes
no,
her.
no. Are
What?
we gonna play or are we gonna sit around like this is your mom's book club?
Yeah. And he's like, all right. He offers out the hand for handshake, and they're
Right.
on. Eddie leads a campaign that Vecna is actually alive and he's missing his left eye. He asks the party if they want to fight or if they want to retreat. Dustin and Erica say fight to the death, and they all agree. They take a lot of damage in this fight, but they call a timeout saying like they need to reconsider like retreating. Like they need to roll like a big 20 in order to do this. So like the odds are
This is a
really much
great
so
montage. This is
not
a
in their
great
favor.
montage. Yeah.
Yeah. Eddie tells them there's no shame in running and don't try to be heroes, which is very metaphoric for what's to come for this season.
And Dustin says, who quotes Han Solo and says, "Never tell me the odds."
Yes. And then with that, I'm like getting chills. Like I love this. So they roll the dice, and Erica lands the 20. And Eddie is so impressed by this that he like bows to Erica. Like how freaking cool is that? At the same time, Jason tries getting the tiebreaker basket at the big game. He misses. Lucas gets it, throws the shot, and lands the shot. And he gets a lot of clout at school for this. But he sees the Hellfire Club like leaving, like victorious, and like just like reminiscing about how awesome that campaign was. And you can tell like he feels bad about his decision. Max turns off the radio after the game is over. So like we know that like
she was listening.
Yeah, she was listening. Like she still cares about Lucas. She's just like not ready to let anybody in at this point.
I wonder how many kids, you youngins, were watching this and were like, "What was she doing? She was listening to it on the radio? What was you could listen to sports on the radio? Yes, listen. You still can. It's called AM. Okay.
Yeah, it was cute. She walks past her mom, passed out on the couch with all these beer cans, and she goes outside to feed her dog. She sees Eddie leading Chrissy to his trailer. He then looks for harder drugs in his bedroom while she's in the living room. She's like pacing back and forth. She's like really not doing well. And then she hears the clock ticking. She goes into Eddie's room and she sees like a zombied version of her mom stitching up her dress. She's suddenly in her house, and then this like big horror chase like ensues. She sees her dad with like his eyes like and mouth stitched shut,
And that
like
was
on the Lazy
trippy.
Boy. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
true. I hate. Oh, that kills me. I see stuff like that. Ooh.
And in the real world, like Eddie finds her with her eyes like rolling in the back of her
I
head,
don't
and
like this, Chrissy.
yeah, and then
I
cue like
love it.
that iconic like TikTok trend like back in 20. It was like, Chrissy, wake up!
Chrissy,
I
wake
don't like
up.
this.
I
Chrissy,
don't
wake
like
up!
this, Chrissy.
I love
Wake
it.
up. I love it.
And then in Chrissy's hallucination, we see This is our first shot of Vecna. He like walks down the stairs. He loves to take his time with this stuff. He walks down the stairs slowly and corners her.
Some pants on Vecna.
He then lifts her up, and she begins lifting up in real life too. She gets thrown up to the ceiling of the trailer. Her bones like start breaking in Vecna fashion, and
Why does he
Vecna
do
kills
that?
her.
Why does he
I don't.
break the bones like that? What is the do? Is that thing them being wrapped in the whatever
I think
webbing?
he just has a fetish of like killing people in a specific way and wanting other people to watch it happen.
Like he just, I'm
That's
gonna break some shit, y'all. Watch
yeah.
this. You know,
I mean,
yeah,
because
I
like
get
even
it.
the kids in the
See it.
Rainbow Rune, like they are all like broken and twisted like that. So, but yeah,
Jeez.
he kills Chrissy right in front of Eddie, and that is the end of the first episode. So chapter 2, Vecna's Curse. In Russia, we open with Hopper jumping through the gate portal. So we get like a little like, what happened to Hopper kind of segment.
And can I just say,
Yeah,
I need to interview these people that actually believe that Hopper was dead.
I
Can
know.
we
Come
just
on.
all agree to disagree that we all knew?
The world's worst kept secret.
We all knew. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, good.
Yeah. I mean, all of the main characters in the show have like ridiculous plot armor, but like Hopper, out of all of them, like, come on, let's be real.
Dude, for real? No.
So yeah, so in Russia, we just see him like get captured and he's being like tortured and interrogated. And that's pretty much it for Russia. Over in California, Mike, we see Mike like fly to California for spring break. It's funny seeing everybody like at the gate instead of like before security. Like that's how you know it's like pre 9/11. Like
Oh,
everybody's hanging out there.
by the way, I used to do that. Before pre 9/11, if you were really bored, and I'm talking about when I was a teenager with my friends, you would drive to the Memphis International Airport and you would go sit and watch people board planes. You'd watch people get off planes. You'd watch planes come in. You'd watch planes go out. You'd get a snack. And you just, it's like a never, it's like just say, you get a magazine, whatever. People actually did that. My son,
It's
when
like a
his
mall, but
earliest,
with planes.
yeah, but
Right?
like my son, I think he was almost 5. It was exactly a month before he turned 5 when 9/11 happened. He we'd go to the airport and he would watch the planes, and we couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's sad. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is how it used to be, honey. Your freaking family could show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And anything and bring anything. And you could bring bottled water and they wouldn't make you throw it away. And you keep shoes on.
I think they're
sorry.
rehearsing that now. You can keep your shoes on now, but still working on the water.
Really? Really? I was
Yeah.
just on a plane in April to go to someone's wedding, and I had to take off my shoes, and I didn't have no damn socks on in the Memphis International Airport. I think I got rabies or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Probably. I was wrong with my toes.
Joyce calls, like, she called Murray to enlist his help in like cracking this like Russian code.
And Murray's busy teaching karate, or his karate lessons.
Yeah. Elle, Mike, and Will go to Rinko Mania, and some shit goes down here. I hate this.
This is triggering for me.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So we see Elle like lying to Mike about all the parties she goes to here, and that she's good friends with Angela and Stacy. And the whole time, Will is just like so upset that like Elle is just painting this like rosy picture to Mike of what's going on here.
Time she says something, Will is just something
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
is anyone clocking Will's reactions? I mean, I would think you would notice that he's kind of giving you the bullshit meter is really coming off the Richter right now. But yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan, he did get accepted into college, but he is telling Argyle he's going to lie to everyone and tell them that like he didn't get in. I think he's just like afraid to make this next step. He's like, I don't know. We can just yada yada
Who
over the
cares?
Jonathan and Nancy stuff
I'm
because you're
over
right.
it.
Who
Who
cares?
cares? Good for you, Jonathan.
Angela gets the DJ at Rinkomania to play Wipeout, and everyone surrounds Elle on the rink and starts making fun of her. They throw a milkshake at her, and she is just so mortified. Like everybody's laughing at her, and she just like storms off.
Once again, where's Mike?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me that big guy, they're holding like these little pipsqueaks are holding him back. You cannot. No, I've seen him do more with nothing.
Yeah.
Fight air to get to someone, and he couldn't get through those people to get to her. Now, granted, he's probably in shock because he thought these people were her friends, and they're clearly not. But I used to frequent Skateland in Raleigh quite often in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm telling you, just get out the way. Okay, I skated my ass off, but boy, people were ruthless. There was the fuzzy carpet wall. I don't know if every skating rink has the fuzzy carpet wall. I got thrown into that thing. I don't know how many times. Get out of the way.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's sad and it's terrible. And I've been picked on pretty bad. It was never filmed, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe this thing after 10 years will take off and someone will produce a video. I don't know. You never know. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
But it's really sad. It bothered me a lot because, being picked, being bullied and everything is hard. And then you're humiliated on top of that. And she's got to come clean. But this also triggers another argument between the two of them. But continue.
Yeah. So in the meantime, Murray and Joyce, they call the ransom note and they record the call, and it's to a payphone in Russia, and this guy Enzo picks up. Enzo asks for $40,000 and to meet him in Alaska to exchange the money for Hopper. Joyce and Murray hear a voice in the background of that call, and they deduce that Enzo is probably a Russian prison guard.
Probably Russian. Yeah, 50-50. He's in Russia.
Yeah. Mike, back at the rink, Mike tells Will his attitude ruined the whole game and that he's mad at her. He's mad he didn't tell her this is going on. He says he should have called more, and Will says, I don't know. There's just like all this like awkward tension also between like Will and Mike. I'll tell you what's really going on. Like
Will is in love with Mike.
Will is in love with Mike, and Mike does not swing that way. And I feel like
Mike is clueless.
Yeah, every adolescent gay guy in the closet has been through like the I have a crush on my straight best friend kind of thing. Like this is very very typical to go through. So I feel for Will in this moment, but also like I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. There's a lot of like fans out there that think that like Mike and Will are going to be like an endgame couple in season 5. And I'm telling you right now, like I'm betting my whole life savings that like that's not happening. I'm sorry.
I'm going to tell you, Tyler, I'm not surprised Mike's clueless because unless it's about Mike Wheeler,
it
ain't happening.
Yeah.
And what is this outfit? Who told him in Hawkins, Indiana, let's dress up like a terrible 80s cliche outfit I've ever seen. Just God, I don't even want to describe it as terrible.
It's all bad. Elle, she goes up to Angela. She goes, Angela, and she demands an apology. And then Angela, like she doesn't give her the apology. She brings up her dead father again, and they all laugh at her. And Elle takes a skate. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I have the pleasure?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Elle clocks this bitch in the nose with a roller skate. And I'm going to tell you something. Allison rewound that quite a few times. Rewound it. I backed it up. See, I'm even talking like the 80s. I backed that shit up. I don't know how many times because I felt such satisfaction
Yeah.
watching her knock this bitch on her ass. It
Yes.
was
Yeah.
amazing. It was so fulfilling to little Allison. And I'm sure little Tyler enjoyed it too.
I did.
Your
I did.
words.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I've seen on Reddit like some chatter about like Elle took it too far with Angela.
Oh,
I'm like,
fuck that.
fuck
No.
no. Yeah.
No, dude.
She deserved
Dude,
that 1,000%.
I have seen kids when I was in elementary school dragging each other on the beating the shit out of each other, throwing each other from monkey bars,
Yeah.
pushing someone so high on a swing set they cannonballed into a tree. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's life.
I mean, she's lucky
Nothing
that
else.
Elle doesn't have her powers, and that's all she got was a
Look,
skate to the face. But
Elle can swing. She
yeah,
should look into being a professional, a what is it? The MMA fighting shit.
yeah. There you
You know
go.
how much money she'd make with that and her powers? Let's go. I'll be your man. Come on, call me Millie. Call me Millie.
So back in Hawkins, Max, she's taking more Tylenol, and she sees a bunch of police coming down her street to Eddie's uncle's trailer. His uncle called the cops, and Eddie is nowhere to be found. Like, he calls the cops because he finds Chrissy's dead body like in the trailer. Oh yeah, we get like a quick shot of like somebody like, and it's probably the Hawkins lab. They're like spying on the calls coming in to the police, so like all the
Oh,
phones and stuff
yeah.
like that. Robin and Steve see on the news that a body has been found of a high school student, but they don't identify like who it is or like a person of interest or anything. Of course, this strikes Nancy to want to investigate. So she's into like Nancy Drew mode again. She brings her friend from the school newspaper, Fred, this sweet boy. God bless
this kid. Real quick about, I'm sorry, Nancy's walk in this whole season. Like, it started in one, it was a little bit, and then it picked up the pace in two, and then like in three, she's just power walking, and now she's just sprinting everywhere, and she's just.
It's funny you mentioned that, Allison, because her character in Dead by Daylight, one of her perks is called Fixated, and she has a faster walking speed than any other character in Dead by Daylight. Like, that's like one of her perks. So that's so funny that you mentioned that.
Oh, she's wound up because I'm watching
fixated.
it. I'm watching it with my cats because, that's the only things that watch anything with me. Is we're sitting there, I go, oh, look, JoJo, she's wound up. The hair's bouncing. Oh, Nancy's about to get in the car and go somewhere and break a story.
What if the epilogue of season 5 is like Nancy? She has like a very long, successful career in the Olympics as like a power walker.
Is that even an Olympic event?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Power walking is an Olympic event.
Yes.
Who has...
You should look up videos of it.
Who has the gold medal for that?
Nancy Wheeler.
Nancy Wheeler. But the news broke long after that. She was on the morning show, and she had to give her medal back.
Yes, of course. Yeah,
steroid use.
Yeah,
that's how it ends for Nancy.
So Max goes to Dustin, tells him it was Chrissy in Eddie's trailer. Dustin says it can't be Eddie. He knows him too well. He's not like that.
Yeah.
And she tells Dustin that she saw him running out of the trailer looking scared. The cops then interrogate Jason, and they ask if he knew Chrissy was taking drugs, asked if he knew Eddie. Like, these cops do a terrible job keeping any information secret for the investigation.
Oh, of course not. No, let's just announce everything and where we are and what we're coming, so our suspect isn't in that area.
They're missing their chief of police in Hawkins. Like, that's what's happening right now.
Is this what happened? God, can you imagine? Who's taking Hopper's place when this is going on?
I know, right? They tell Jason that Chrissy's dead, and he goes into the woods and lets out like a huge scream. Like, this really just sends Jason into like the biggest whodunit
spiraling, and he's not good at his job of investigating. He's terrible at it.
Dustin and Max head to the video store where Robin and Steve are to get Eddie's friends' numbers to call them. Max, you okay?
My cat just slimed me. Continue. I'm sorry.
They find out that like by using the family video database, they find out that he's probably staying with his friend Reefer Rick, and they find Reefer Rick's address from the video store database. And that cabin is near Lover's Lake. Nancy and her friend Fred visit the trailer park, and Fred starts having an hallucination that the cops blame him for his mom dying in a car crash. So like we're seeing that there's some trauma as well. Are you okay?
Okay. Everybody knows my cat has rhinitis, feline herpes. Okay. And when this cat sneezes, it is a snot rocket that would make Puck from the Real World season 2 blush.
Nasty.
I mean, this is some crazy shit coming out of this cat's nose. I give him medicine for this, and I'm wearing black. You can't see it, but I look like Slimer from the boobs down on like I'm
that, like,
Beckman
upside
right now
down.
from Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
I've been slimed.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm sorry. What were we talking about?
I was just saying that like they find out that he's that Eddie's probably hiding with his friend Reefer Rick, who has a cabin out near Lover's Lake.
And how did you find him at the video store?
The database of the video store, they have like the addresses and stuff like that. So
and they went by movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Stoner movies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nancy and Fred, they visit the trailer park, and Fred starts having hallucinations that the cops are blaming him for his parents dying in a car crash. So like we see that Fred has some like undealt with like trauma as well.
Yeah.
The military arrives at Hawkins. Jason gets the basketball team to go after the Hellfire Club, and Lucas tries telling them it's not this like satanic cult that they think it is. But he has to back down quickly because like I think Lucas realizes like it's better that I'm like following this and keeping an eye on it to kind of maybe
better
like
stay with the devil you know to protect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nancy finds Eddie's uncle at the trailer park, and he tells her that he knows that it wasn't Eddie. He thinks that it was a man named Victor Creel. Fred then hears some clocks chiming, so he goes into the woods and he sees a clock on a casket just like laying there in the middle of the woods. Dustin, Max, Steve, Robin find Eddie at Reefer Rick's cabin, and Eddie like tells them like exactly what happened about like Chrissy like lifting up, and like he didn't know like what happened, and he's like freaking out.
You know what gets me, Tyler, real quick? The ball's on Max to even question Eddie's innocence. Were you not in season 3 paying attention? Look what we had to deal with your brother. Okay, in season 5. Are you kidding? And you're going to judge somebody? Your brother led people into meat to become meat sauce. They like literally he melted an entire town. All Eddie is accused of is slaying a cheerleader. Calm down.
We've seen much more crazy things.
We've seen worse. Get over it. Run up that hill, baby.
Nancy can't find Fred. Fred runs into the road off the woods and sees a flipped car on tire. And then Fred gets lifted into the air and taken by Vecna, claiming his second victim. So now Vecna has killed both Chrissy and Fred.
But no one saw Frederick die, right?
Right.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay, but they just found him. Okay.
He was alone. Yeah. All right. Chapter 3, The Monster and the Superhero. So in Russia, Enzo tells Hopper that Joyce and Murray are on their way with the money. And Hopper breaks his foot to get the shackles off of his thing.
Which is
so
absolute
like an escape plan.
Bullshit. I hope Tim saw that and went, no. And then they did all the running around like the no.
Hopper's running at like full speed, like as if like this.
Dude. No.
Yeah, no fucking way. Yeah, no, I agree. In California, we see Dr. Owens. He gets woken up by the government landing by a helicopter in front of his house, and the National Guard like raids his house for like any info about Elle. So like they know that like shit is going down in Hawkins, and the feds think that 11 is like the source of all of this, and they're trying to find out like where she's at.
She's busy beating Angela's ass or face.
Joyce and Murray tell the kids that they have a business trip in Alaska that they have to go to. Elle and Mike have this huge fight about like him not like writing that he loves her in like all the letters that they've sent back and forth. And then that fight gets broken up by Elle getting arrested for assaulting Angela.
Angela is such a petty bitch that she couldn't
She's
take.
like, my parents are rich lawyers, like that kind of
I don't
energy.
give a shit. You caused that problem. You need to take your medicine. Be a woman. You got clocked in the face for running your mouth. You pushed somebody. That's how it went down when I was a kid. You got knocked the fuck out and you were bleeding everywhere. You knew you probably did something to deserve that. And guess what? You took care of it and you went home. You didn't get the cops involved. Now, you may have chased after the person a little bit. You know, you got into it here, but you didn't involve teachers. You didn't involve the law. You sure as hell didn't involve my mother or your parents, because once my mom got involved. But anyway, you just, please, I don't care. And I don't give a shit. A skate to the face is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So they take Elle to the like local like county jail or whatever, or not county, like
she gets fingerprinted.
Yeah.
Mugshotted. But Mike's gonna take care of it. How good would you feel about Mike's gonna take care of it, Tyler?
Honestly, Mike and like Stoner Jonathan, not good.
I trust Argyle and Will. Let's get the two of them. I trust them together.
Yeah. But so they take Elle, they're like transferring her to another facility, and Dr. Owen's team actually like intercepts that van to take Elle. Dr. Owens takes her to a diner and like says like, don't worry, like the Angela stuff will go away. So like we never hear from Angela again. And like,
I hope we do. I hope we run into Angela in season 5 in her fucked up face.
I hope
Let's
so.
go.
And I love this segment. Like, we'll kind of like go back to this like for the end of like the Hawkins stuff as well, because it's kind of like montaging back and forth between like Max seeing like Vecna's clock for the first time. But I love this scene in this episode. It's just like a really epic speech about like Dr. Owens, he hates to ask Elle of this, but they think that they need her powers in order to defeat this evil, and he knows of a way to get her powers back.
I'm sorry. If I'm Elle at this point, I'm like, dude, how many times do I have to close the door? Yeah. I've done it 4 times. And you guys keep letting it out or whatever. You know, what is the deal? Why do I have to clean up your mess?
Yeah. But like the way that he presents it is like, you know, this is your choice, 11. Like, you don't have to do this. Like, I can take you back home if you want. Like, so at least he's giving her like that. But it's just a really awesome epic speech where you really feel like the direness is like really ramping up here. He tells her that the feds are all after her and they think that she is the source of the problem. He tells her the risk, but her friends in Hawkins are in real danger, and he says that they're very much so in the eye of the storm. She agrees, and they head out before she even gets her waffles in the diner. And Dr. Owens sends some guards to the buyer's house in California to guard Will, Jonathan, and Mike at this point.
Yeah.
Back in Hawkins, Vecna is gaining power. Nancy tells the cops to check out Victor Creel, and they tell her that he's locked away, so there's nothing to worry about there. And she sees Steve, Robin, Dustin, and Max like pull up to the trailer site. So now like they're all going to be like connected and like sharing notes. Max suggests looking through the school therapist files for clues on who Vecna could be targeting.
Playing a clock.
Vecna's clock. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Vecna is like closing in on Max already at this point. Steve takes Dustin and Max to the therapist's like house, while Nancy and Robin go together to investigate the Victor Creel lead. Jason arrives to the Hellfire Club practicing like for a band, and they beat the fucking shit out of them and ask them where Eddie's at. Yeah.
You know, if you want some help, don't beat someone up first.
Yeah.
I don't care how mouthy or nerdy. They're already scared to death.
Mm-hmm.
Why you got to beat them up? Now will you tell me? No, I'm not telling you you knock more of my teeth out. I don't give a shit. At least
Yeah.
I can look better. You've peaked. I can get my shit fixed.
We then see Nancy and Robin head to the library, and there's just this like awkward tension between Nancy and Robin because Nancy thinks that like Robin and Steve are like a thing. Again, we don't really care about this
None
shit.
of your business, Nancy. None of your business. You moved on, Nancy.
But they go to check out like the newspaper archives, and it's like a cool scene of them like flipping through like old archives and stuff like that.
And there's a basic sign. I'm sorry. There's a basic sign on the wall next to them. Do we remember what basic stands for when it comes to computers?
No.
I can't either. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Max fakes a therapy session for Miss Kelly at her house. And she starts to like ask questions about like Chrissy, like, you know, was Chrissy like suffering any pain or anything like that? And Miss Kelly like won't give her any answers.
No.
I also think like the whole like Miss Kelly character, the Duffer brothers have like confirmed that she's like not a part of Vecna, but like there's something so shady to me about Miss Kelly's character. She wears a freaking clock necklace, and she has like a clock in the background of her office that's like ticking the whole time. I don't know. There's something like weird with her character. I feel like she's like in with Vecna somehow, but they say that that's not the case. But I don't know.
Maybe she's a wannabe therapist and she has to know what time it is all the time. And when she's given sessions at home, the ticking of the clock soothes the patient, which is bullshit.
So Max leaves, but she does take a key. She steals a key to like her school office so they can.
That's why she faked the session. Yeah.
Lucas makes radio contact with the crew to warn them about Jason. Nancy and Robin are coming up empty on leads. So Robin suggests checking some like conspiracy theory magazine archives because like we're talking some like really creepy like sci-fi shit. So like maybe like the Victor Creel stuff is in there.
I mean, when all else fails, go to the crazy people. I'm telling you, man, they know their shit. That's when they listen.
And they find a story about Victor claiming an exorcism happened in his home and it killed like most of his family. Max, Dustin, and Steve break into the school and break into Miss Kelly's office to look at Chrissy's files. They find out Fred was seeing her as well. And they basically piece together that like Max is having like all of the same symptoms as Chrissy and Fred with like the hallucinations and like the migraines and like past trauma, like all of that stuff checks out. Lucas breaks free from the jocks and runs. So like we see him like starting to head towards like the party again, thankfully. And as like they're figuring out that like Max is probably the next victim, she hears the clock and Vecna calling her name, and she sees the clock like ingrained into the school hallway wall. And
sound effects.
And that's the end.
Okay.
And that's the end of the episode.
Trying to contribute.
No, you're good. Chapter 4, Dear Billy. I freaking love this episode. Like, this episode is so good for obvious reasons, but like, there's just like no filler here. Like, everything is just like A+ scenes. So in Russia, Hopper gets told that they landed in Alaska. Murray and Joyce go to this like shitty junkyard with like a small plane to meet with Yuri for the exchange. Hopper takes down 2 guards in a utility shed after like breaking his foot.
After breaking his foot.
And he successfully escapes. He takes refuge in this like old
successful though.
For a moment. He takes refuge in an old church and eats peanut butter and gets some like comfort and like warmth with like a blanket in the bed. Of course, that like very quickly gets derailed because Yuri calls Enzo. He tells Enzo that he sold everybody out for more money from the Russian guards. And he spikes Joyce and Murray's coffee. So they're like passed out. And the guards capture Hopper and Enzo. So they're like all caught by like the Russian guards at this point.
What is the name of the guard that was helping Hopper?
I just refer to him as Enzo. That's what I'm going to be referring to him as.
He's cute. He's hot.
He is cute. Yeah. No, I agree. He's a looker for sure.
Yeah.
Tim actually said the same thing. But in California, Jonathan wants to get out of the house. They're like they're like locked at home basically. Like,
Oh, they're look, Tyler. Have you ever had the pleasure of looking up movie times in a newspaper?
no.
Oh my
That's how you
God.
know. That's how you find out.
Yes, back in the day, well, you could call the theater, but then you get a very pissed off employee who's not having it, which 9 times out of 10 would have been me. I seriously, I'm telling you, my favorite movie would be released. I'd get the paper that Friday and Saturday, dude, I was cutting out the big picture that was in the paper and putting it in a damn picture frame. I'm serious, like the internets. You look forward, like, oh, look what's it's like scrolling. It's like
I think
scrolling
we
the
like
movies.
called like a phone number to get like the movie times.
Yeah,
Like
you had
that's
that.
kind of what I
That was
remember.
before you had to actually, you know what? You'll never understand that we actually had to work for stuff. We had to like do research and find things like
You had to
movie
do
times.
research and beat the shit out of your classmates in school.
Look, let me tell you something. I play
That's how it worked out.
roller skate amateur. You know what? And I love how they keep bringing up Police Academy like 5. Let's go see that. It starts like 2. You want to go to the 4 o'clock? Like, nobody wants to see the 5th installment of Police Academy. Not even me.
So they want to get out of the house and like leave Hawkins or and go to Hawkins, but they're basically like confined to staying at their California home because like all of Owen's like guards are watching them just in case like the feds like raid their house. And they do. The feds arrive and there's a huge they order pizza like before this happens. Very important detail here.
Yes.
The feds arrive and this action sequence is so cool. Like it is one continuous long shot of like this huge shootout that happens like in the buyer's home. And the feds like kill like pretty much everybody except for like this one guard that they like.
How did the feds get there? I forget. Why were they there watching the boys?
They
Like,
were there
who
to
tipped them
uh,
off?
well, they knew that like that's where actually I don't know how they knew like where 11 or how like I don't know how they knew that 11 was staying at that home in particular, but I mean the feds can find out anything. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know,
I think
maybe
they were
they're
trying
just
to
like
protect them while she was gone, I think was the
yeah.
gist of it. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. But Argyle arrives just in time with the pizza van and takes the kids plus this like injured bodyguard and takes them away just in time before the feds like capture them. In Hawkins, Max tells the party about her hallucinations and tells them that Fred and Chrissy both died the same day that they like first saw the clock. So like they know that like Vecna is coming for Max like very, very, very soon. Lucas, Nancy, and Robin all meet up with Dustin, Steve, and Max at school. Lucas warns Dustin that Jason is after him. Nancy and Robin plan to break into the mental hospital where Victor Creel is locked away, and they dress up in these like ridiculous dresses for it.
And they get the ridiculous wardrobe from Nancy's closet.
Yes, yeah. And this is probably the first time Robin has like ever worn a dress in her life.
Yeah.
Like she is very clearly
Miserable.
uncomfortable. Max is writing goodbye letters for everybody. She wants to go to her mom's and then to Billy's grave. She just wants some like closure on like potentially like her last day alive.
Hold on. No, we can't glaze over this. Tyler.
What?
The drama. I mean, the dramatic effect of her writing letters to everyone. And then, like, don't open it until, bitch, I'm gonna read it right now. I'm reading it right now. I'm not waiting. You're gonna give me some, I'll read it. But I just really that was a little much for me. That was a little much. I'm sorry.
I agree. Like I said, they're taking their sweet old time in season 4. It takes a long time to get places in the season.
Yeah.
Robin saves the day by convincing the dean of this mental hospital to visit Victor Creel by giving this long-winded speech about like how women don't get opportunities like this and stuff like that.
Seriously, we can't get in to do the big interviews.
I have to say, Robin is written so differently in season 4 than she is in season 3, and a lot of her dialogue annoys the shit out of me, like for this season. Do you feel the same way?
I feel like,
You like dumb her down.
yeah, I maybe the actress who plays Nancy's a little threatened,
Uh huh.
and especially because Maya Hawke has better hair.
Yeah.
And it was like, I can't deal with it, dumb her down or it's or I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And technically, you can't really they couldn't probably find an actress that could match that stride that Nancy Wheeler has walking fast.
Yeah.
Shit, what are we gonna do? We're gonna dumb down Maya Hawke. That's what we're gonna. And I just want to say, Maya Hawke, who is the daughter of Ethan Hawke and Uma
Mhm.
Thurman,
She looks just like Uma Thurman.
love her voice.
Yeah.
I love her mother's voice, but oh my god, like I wish that I had Maya Hawke on my
Mhm.
Alexa.
She does have a good voice. That's
She
true. That's
does.
true.
But yeah, they did make her a tad annoying but it wasn't her fault.
So they pass a music room where like they say that like music is like soothing for like a lot of the patients, and then they finally go down to the basement where Victor Creel is locked away. And I know that you probably thought this is like the coolest thing in the world just as much as I did, but this is the original Freddy Krueger, the actor that plays Victor Creel here.
Robert
What a good get.
England.
So freaking cool. His eyes are like gouged out. Like
Yeah.
he is like he every line that he delivers is so perfectly like horrific and scary. So he walks us through this flashback where he buys this new house in Hawkins for him and his family. Then he starts noticing like rabbits are dying around their house, spiders are coming up through the drains. He's like hallucinating, seeing like a baby like in the fireplace and stuff like
I'd be
that.
calling Cook's Pest Control. Okay.
And at family dinner one night, the lights start flickering and the music starts playing to Ella Fitzgerald's "Dream a Little Dream." And his wife gets lifted up in the air and gets all twisted in Vecna, basically. Then his daughter as well. And then his son falls into a deep coma. And he says that he died a week later, but we find out that that's not true. Yeah, so like we get like all of this like flashback to like the origin story of the Creel house and like their
Now, did Victor
experience from
Creel
his
know
POV.
his son made it? Or
No.
does he not know?
No, I think that he just like went insane and he decided to gouge his own eyes out.
Yeah.
Nancy and Robin get interrupted. The dean called the school that they said that they were there for like a scholarship for and found out that they were lying. So he tells them the cops are on their way. And then we cut to Max arriving at Billy's grave.
This was the mid-season finale, by the way. This was the first time they split it up into 2 parts.
Yeah. Lucas tells Max that he doesn't want a letter and he wants to be with her and he wants to support her no matter what. He's like, I don't want a letter. I'm here. I'm right here and I'm listening to you. But she's still like pretty shut down with Lucas in particular. So she goes to Billy's grave and she has this really good monologue about basically apologizing to him for not feeling any guilt over his death. And she just kind of like stood there in that moment and watched it happen. And she imagines that like if he lived, like they probably would have grown up to be friends. And I don't know, she's just having a lot of guilt over like her feelings and her actions and taking a lot of responsibility on herself for what happened, even though it wasn't her fault. But like that's just where your mind goes when these kind of things happen.
Yeah. I don't see them being buddies in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Steve then checks on Max and he sees that her eyes are rolling. Vecna appears as Billy, taunting Max. He tells her that he knows that she's had suicidal thoughts, so he's here to fulfill her wish. Cut back to the mental hospital. The cops take Robin and Nancy away. Robin mentions like the music of it all to Nancy, and Nancy's like, all right, let's make a run for it. They just need to get back to like the radio in the car to tell Dustin and Lucas, like everybody else, like try playing music for Max.
And they outrun the cops
They outrun the cops barefoot
with broken feet.
They get to the car and they radio to Dustin to play music. He grabs the cassette player, runs it up to the.
No, they have to find her favorite tape first.
Yeah.
That was so fun. What is it? That was great.
Kate Bush. And then, so like while all this is going on, Max enters this like red lair with a bunch of like spikes and floating house pieces and clocks. She also sees Chrissy and Fred. Their bodies like tied up to like some of those vines. And Vecna asks if she's ready to join them, and then he like ties her up. They find Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush, and they put it in the cassette tape, and they put it on Max's ears, like with the headphones. And in this like hellscape thing, Max can see the boys like calling for her like in the distance. So like the music has like somehow created like a way to get your consciousness like back into the real world and out of this like Vecna layer that he has created for himself. And we get this awesome montage of like her best moments of like when she was happiest in life, like all of the times that she's like hanging with her friends and with Lucas and stuff. And all of this like helps her break free, and she makes a run for it. And she realizes that she has something to live for. She wakes up out of the trance. She like falls down to the ground. She falls into Lucas's arms, and she's just like crying and saying like, I'm still here. And what a beautiful metaphor for like people that have like suicidal thoughts, and they decide to keep going and to fight another day. And what a powerful scene, all set to like Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. I get chills every time I watch this.
Yeah, because you're so wound up and caught in that moment that it's impossible to see any other way out other than that moment, and then you reflect on it later in life and go, man, if I could just go back and tell, I wouldn't go back. I had to go through that to be where I am.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this makes a big impact on her.
So chapter 5, the Nina Project. So in Russia, Hopper gets beat and interrogated more. He gets thrown into a pen with other prisoners, including Enzo. So now Enzo is like caught as like a traitor to the Russian guards. Yuri ties up Joyce and Murray and puts them on a plane. He basically is going to like deliver them to the Russian guards in exchange for more money.
I'm sorry, I don't want to hop ahead, no pun intended, but Murray and Joyce take out what's his name? Yuri. And Joyce is like, do something, karate. I fought 13-year-olds that were like this tall. I don't know and he ends up really using his moves on this guy and gets control of the plane. I think they crash. But I just thought that whole scene was funny. It's just,
this whole thing is so ridiculous.
It is
and
ridiculous.
Like not realistic at all. Like they beat the shit out of Yuri. He passes out, and they crash land this plane and somehow survive like all of this.
Look, if Hopper can run fast at like the wind with a broke foot, come on. They can land a plane roughly.
I really don't like the Russia stuff. Like it's all like so ridiculous to me.
Well, let me add a little light to this real quick.
Yeah.
Backtrack just a second. I'm sorry. When Murray and Joyce are flying to, what do they go to Alaska first and then go to Russia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know geometries or maps, but anyway, my sister-in-law, the one I like, Mary, that one.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in Georgia, and she does, extra work and stuff. She's really gotten into it. She was in this airplane scene. She was like a couple of rows back, and you can kind of see her. I didn't even think about that, but you can see her. She did that about 5 years ago. It was after COVID.
I would love to be an
Um,
extra on Stranger Things.
she had waist length. She's part Filipino and
Mhm.
American. She's Filipino American. So she had that long, beautiful waist length curly hair,
Yeah.
and they cut it all the way up to here. She'd never had short hair
Oh,
in her
no.
life.
That's crazy.
And they and it was an 80s haircut. It stopped here, cut, and then it was cute. I mean, she made the most of it. It was cute. It looked good on me. I was like, it's not that bad. It's not bad. I liked it. It was cute.
Yeah.
She carried it well. I mean, her hair's long now, but I think that when she went in that day, she did not think that let me tell you something. When you're going to be I'm not going to brag, but well, when you're a featured extra, you are in the frame somewhere
Yeah.
with the talent. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the only work I do. If I got to do extra shit, it's only featured extra. And I will say that you get paid good for it. And it's long at it. And you're going to make sacrifices like cutting all your hair off. Do
For
it.
sure.
Because she's
Yes.
got memories that are awesome. But anyway, yes,
That is
let's
cool.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for Russia stuff. So in California, the bodyguard that they have in the van, they tell them to contact Owens about the Nina project, and he dies in the back of the pizza van. The feds are still chasing them.
But he wants his pen. He wants his pen.
Yes, yeah.
Remember, he's asking for his pen.
Yes, they will find a pen. The feds like find Elle's letter to Mike saying like I've gone off to be a superhero. So like they are like
way to go
on the trail.
Mike, if you really cared, you would have kept that letter in your pocket.
Or burn it or something,
Something,
like dispose
bitch.
of the evidence.
Sick of you.
Elle and Owens get dropped off at this door in the middle of the desert
it's so random too.
In Utah, or is it
Nevada.
Nevada. Yeah. I apologize in advance if I get like the Nevada and Utah mixed up.
I mean, really, yeah.
So
Mormons is really the only difference.
Yeah. So they get dropped off at the store in the middle of nowhere that leads them to this underground lab. Owens shows her this deprivation tank called Nina. And then we get our first shot of Papa walking down the stairs.
Alive. Papa.
So, spoiler, Papa is alive. And as soon as she sees her, as soon as she sees him, she starts to run and they like sedate her.
Dude, she's
and then,
pissed.
Yeah. They put her in the tank. She dreams of trying to like escape the rainbow room, but she just keeps running into like the doors that like lead back into the rainbow room.
Why did they make her shave her head for that? Why does she have to shave her head every time she does this tank stuff? She can't sit in front of a TV again blindfolded. I mean, come on. What is the deal here?
That's a good question. I don't know like why they shave her.
Anyone who's ever been in a deprivation tank, please let us know.
So Mike finds a phone number in the pen of the bodyguard while they're burying him, and they're like, who can figure out like the source of this phone call? And Mike suggests like maybe Susie would know how to like locate this phone number. Flashback of 11 getting picked from a lineup to like do like tests. This isn't really important or anything, but Elle gets taken out of the tank after she starts like spazzing out and stuff like that, and she tries to escape again. And when the guards catch her, like she has like her first jolt of like her powers are back. So like as much as she doesn't want to do this, like it is leading to like a good result. So that kind of convinces her to continue a little bit. In Hawkins, Max tries drawing the piece of Vecna's house, and they like piece it all together, like just like those like floating like house pieces that she saw in like the red like layer or whatever. The feds they get to Eddie's trailer, and Patrick on the football team sees Vecna's clock at Chrissy's funeral. So this is like Vecna's like next victim, this like other guy that's like on the basketball team. The group carries sorry, I'm like reading my notes here. The group goes to the Creel house and they break in and they all split up looking for clues. A lot of this is like jumping back and forth between like a few different like things
they really go. They are everywhere.
Yeah, so I apologize if this is like all over
No,
the
you're
place, but I'm
fine.
trying to like organize this as best as possible. Jason and the team and the basketball team head to Reefer Rick's, and they find a fresh pot of Chef Boyardee in a pan on the stove, so they know like somebody is like eating here, like staying here. So Eddie sees like the team is there, and he tries like radioing like the party, but he can't get in contact with them. The chandelier in the Creel house starts flickering on, and they use their turned off flashlights to find where in the house like Vecna is walking around. And they notice that like the light sources are all like walking up like towards like the attic. Eddie escapes Reefer Rick's cabin via boat. Jason and Patrick see him, and they start to chase after him like swimming in Lover's Lake.
Good God Almighty! Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong, right?
What are they gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Back at the Creel house, there's this awesome shot of the kids like all gathered around the attic. They're like pointing their light bulbs or their flashlights, and like the flashlights are all like glowing like crazy. And then like the whole camera like flips to Vecna is in like the same place in the attic in the upside down, and he's like in the middle of his trance. He's getting ready for his next kill. Patrick hears the clock while swimming. He gets lifted up into the air, and he gets Vecna'd. He is Vecna's official third victim, and Jason and Eddie both see all of this happen like right in front of them.
Yeah, so they know it's not Edward. They know he didn't do it.
Yeah. So chapter 6, The Dive. In Russia, Joyce and Murray interrogate a tied up Yuri. The prisoners get fed a big feast, and Hopper deduces that it's the night before they're going to be forced to like fight this like Demogorgon in a ring for like entertainment and like research purposes. Yuri brings them to that safe house church where Hopper got to. Murray and Yuri decides to switch names so that they can keep Yuri tied up, and Murray can handle the negotiations since he speaks Russian. Just honestly pretty smart.
Yeah.
Hopper and Enzo try to stage a fight to take out the guards, but it doesn't work. Over in Nevada. The feds torture one of Owen's guards, and they're basically just like trying to get more information in terms of like where 11 is located. Papa plays tapes of Elle's experiments to like jog her memory. Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Argyle visit Susie's house, and like I need your commentary on this because what the fuck? Like all of these Mormon kids are doing like all these crazy skits in like weird ass costumes. Argyle meets the woman of his dreams, which is basically Allie Sheely from The Breakfast Club. Like it's literally her.
It's literally Allie from it's all over the place. I'm going to tell you something. Households like this were not uncommon in the 80s. I'm telling you right now, it was nothing to go over to a friend's house who has a butt ton of brothers and sisters, and they're on every level of the house, hanging from banisters, doing crazy shit. And the parents were just like because they were hippies, but it was just laid back. That's why a lot of people my age are not plagued with fear when it comes to certain things, because we've done it all. I'm going to Six Flags. I will that ride will kill me on impact. Don't tempt me with a good time. Strap me in. I'm going. More than one. I'll go. I'll break a record. I don't give a shit. That's how crazy we were in the 80s. And look at us now. We're hosting podcasts.
Right.
But seriously, but no, I'm saying that seeing that was not shocking for me. It was hilarious because I've been in households like this.
It was crazy to me. Like this is not how our house was at all. But Susie, I did follow like the tech stuff she was trying to do. So basically she tracks the IP address of the phone number, gives them the geolocation of the phone number. All while like Argyle and Susie's sister are like hotboxing in the van, which is hilarious. But so now like the California crew has the geolocation for the phone number that was in the pen of Owen's guard.
Doesn't it make
Basically.
you appreciate a good GPS? Like, hey, Google,
Yeah.
how do
That's
you
so
get to so and so? Just
yeah.
imagine having to go to another state, go to a
With
weird
a chance.
house in a chance on a hope and a prayer that you're gonna get a geolocation.
Yeah.
Wow. Now we have Life
After just burying a
360.
dead body.
Yeah, hello. And nothing ever came of that dead body, by the way.
Yeah.
Nothing. They just
Yeah.
left him in the junkyard. Just
Yeah.
left him.
So back in Hawkins, Jason warns the police that Eddie is the vessel of this like satanic cult because he thinks that like Eddie did this like satanic magic in front of Jason. Like he
Okay.
is fully convinced that
Yeah.
Jason
It's called
lifted Patrick up in
satanic
the air.
panic. Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's called
No, you're good.
satanic panic. And this was a real
It's a real
thing.
thing. Yeah.
When I was a kid, especially in the late 80s and early 90s, um, they referred to kids in trench coats. And this is predated before Columbine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They called the kids gothic trench coat mafia kids, gothic. It wasn't even, it was emo, I guess, but it was more gothic. And if you listen to heavy metal or you play Dungeons and Dragons, you were worshiping Satan. I mean, it was just so, look, I hate to bring up the West Memphis 3, but I'm telling you, they were convicted. One, they were coerced to a false confession, one of them, and then they listened to heavy metal and they wore black
Yeah.
and they did weird shit because they were kids. Okay. And, there was in the South, there's you guilty and proven innocent. That's how it is down here. I'm sorry. It's a tale as old as time. Justice is
That
really
sounds about right.
backwards down here. And yeah, I guess what can bother me about Eddie is Jason, you flippin' saw the guy go up in the air and do all this crazy shit. It is still Eddie's fault.
Yeah.
How? He's just as freaked out as you. Like, is it that impossible to think for 1 minute that you could be on the same level as someone like him? Is that so beneath you, Jason?
Yeah. Apparently it is.
Yeah.
Hawkins police does a press release on TV. They list Eddie as a person of interest for the murder of Christy, and they invite everybody to attend a town hall at 2 p.m. Lucas apologizes to Max and tells her he should have been there more. Nancy finally admits things are weird with her and Jonathan to Robin, whatever.
Because you make it weird, Nancy.
Right. They find Eddie, thankfully, so they're like able to like hide him. But so at the town hall, things turn pretty like aggressive and violent after Jason gives this very like brainwashy speech
about it's terrible.
It is terrible, and it really incites like townspeople violence, kind of like Halloween 4. Like, you know how in that movie, like a lot of the rednecks in that town, they went on like their hunting spree for Michael Myers and they ended up like accidentally killing like a bunch of innocent people. Like that's
exactly.
That's what Jason is inciting to happen here, basically. I love all the shots of like the Wheelers' parents and Dustin's mom and Lucas's parents. They're all looking at each other so scared, like shit is going down here. So they all go back to the Wheelers' house to look for the kids and to plan for like, what do we do about this? Near Lover's Lake, they get lost. Dustin realizes that his compass was like pointing in the wrong direction. And so they deduce that there's probably a gate to the Upside Down nearby because that's what happened back in season 1 to his compass. So they go to Lover's Lake and the teens go out on the boat. The compass is like going crazy as soon as they like take the boat out into the middle of the lake. And so Steve decides, I'm gonna like go take a dive and see what's down there. He takes his shirt off.
Steve is so hot in this.
Nancy him out. And what's so funny is like, so Dustin, he's like looking in the binoculars and he's like, damn, I told Steve he needs to tame that jungle, but he says the ladies dig the chest hair. And Max, she goes, let me see. And she like yanks the binoculars out of Dustin. And it's like the longest shot of her just like staring in these binoculars at Steve. I'm like,
don't blame her, dude. Not one bit.
So Steve takes the dive and he finds the gate at the bottom of the lake. Conveniently, the cops show up to Lover's Lake, so the kids decide to. They first like hide, and then they're like, "Cops over here!" just to like diverge like the cops from
Yeah.
like not
What are you
seeing like what the
doing?
teens
Yeah.
are doing. A vine from the upside down pulls Steve through the gate. So Steve is like now in the upside down. They're going on like 2 minutes where like Steve hasn't like come up for air. So they start to get worried. Steve comes up and then like he gets like yanked back down again.
After
And that's
30
when
seconds of that, I would have been in the water trying to find him.
I
I'm
know
not
that's
sitting for
so
2 minutes, dude. Sorry.
also that's just like so scary in general to like dive down to the bottom of a lake at night. Like
But it's
there's like
Steve
no
Harrington.
vision whatsoever. I know. Yeah.
I wouldn't
Steve.
do that for Jonathan, but I'd do that for Steve.
I would do that for Steve the Hair Harrington. So Nancy dives in after him, and then so does Robin and Eddie. And we see like demo bats. They're starting to swarm Steve in the upside down. They're biting him. They're choking him. And that's the end of like the Hawkins stuff. Just real quick, like the flashbacks that like Elle is experiencing in the tank at this point. So one introduces himself to 11 and he tells her that Papa doesn't tell her the truth about everything. He tells her that 11 he tells 11 that the woman that she saw like break into the rainbow room that day when she was young was her mom.
Yeah.
Papa makes the kids like duel with each other to see like which one is like stronger. And 11 goes against another guy. She channels her anger for knowing Papa lied about her mom to win the fight. And that's like the biggest burst of like power that she has like displayed in front of Papa so far. 11 later that day in the outside of the rainbow room, she hears one being electrocuted and tortured. Papa's there too. And yeah, and then she gets like a little like flash forward that she like killed everybody again. So she's like remembering. It's basically that same scene at like at the beginning of this season where like she believes that she's the one that like killed like all of these kids and these people.
So does she like get away from the lab and then like forget everything? Doesn't this sound a lot like It? If you leave Derry, you forget everything that happened. The parallels between these two shows are just, it kills me every time. They're so similar because I mean seriously, that's what it seems like to me. It's
Yeah.
the further she gets away, like she doesn't remember. So yeah. Anyway,
I mean, the in-universe explanation is like Papa says that like this was such a traumatic event for her that she like doesn't remember any of it. Like it's like her brain's way of like protecting herself from the trauma. But like she needs to like remember everything that happened in order to get like her full powers back. The out of universe explanation is that they just like are making shit up as they go.
yeah,
like
I mean,
they do with every show.
who doesn't? You know, it happens. Look at The Walking
Yeah.
Dead. Anyway.
Yeah, right. So that's chapter 6. So I think this is probably a good time for us to pause. So we'll do chapter 7, 8, and 9 after I'm done with the Zoom call.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. Expect nothing less. Hello. We're gonna act like we didn't hit pause and we're just resuming.
I'm wearing a different shirt as well.
Thanks, continuity. Damn it.
I know. I didn't even think about
fool.
that. But no, we're back and we're here to talk chapter 7, the massacre at Hawkins' lab. So in Russia, the Russians take Murray, Joyce, and Yuri into
Wait a minute. I love how we talk about the massacre. The massacre in Hawkins' lab.
Oh,
and
but first, Russia. Yeah,
okay.
Of course. So, well, like I said, we just like yada yada over the Russian stuff because honestly, like the Russia stuff is like my least favorite part of.
It's kind of up there with Jonathan. It's like I could live without it.
But so the Russians take Murray, Joyce, and Yuri into a holding room for questioning, and then they take them outside to the fighting pit, and they see Hopper. So this is the first time they're like they have like eyes on Hopper for the first time. Like he's alive. He's like being held prisoner. Hopper pulls out a spear drenched in gasoline and goes to like light it on fire to like fight the Demogorgon. Murray then points the gun on the main guard, like watching from above. And Murray tells the Russians to open up all the doors, unleashing all the Demogorgons in the facility. Joyce then opens like the doors to this pit long enough for Hopper and Enzo to escape in it, and then they like close the door. But Hopper like throws the spear right into the Demogorgon's mouth, like while the door is closing, and that is such a cool shot. Like, what a
with a broke foot.
yeah, with a broken arm, with a broken
What did
foot.
you do today? What have you done
Right?
today?
Right.
You're
But then after this, like Hopper and Joyce finally reunite, and like I like this is the stuff that I do like about the Russian plot. I feel like once like Hopper and Joyce reconnect, I feel like there's like no more bullshit between the two of them. And I mean, like she just like infiltrated Soviet Russia to save Hopper. Like, how much more confirmation do you need that like she's into you?
You don't do things like that just for friends. I don't expect you to infiltrate the Russians. But then again, if it were the morning show, you damn well better get me back from wherever the hell Bradley Jackson was, because that was some plush ass torture she was going through.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. That was so I kind of wish that she was here in this like Russian facility. Like, could you just imagine? I'm Bradley Jackson. I'm a journalist.
You have a stupid name. You're stupid. Get back in your hole.
Yeah.
Stupid.
In Utah, like basically this episode, like Elle is just like in the sensory deprivation tank the whole time. Like we'll get into like what she's like dreaming about or like experiencing in the tank, but like physically, that's like all that happens in Utah in episode 7. Back in Hawkins, the teens, so like Robin and Nancy, they save Steve from the demo bats. Like they have this like awesome like fight sequence.
The what? The demo what?
The Demobats?
I thought you said Demobass. I'm like, did we come across a Demogorgon fish that I missed?
The Demobats, yes.
Okay.
The cops at the Wheeler's house, they interrogate Lucas, Dustin, and Max. And in the Upside Down, the teens plan to go to Nancy's house in the Upside Down for guns. Nancy's like, it's funny, like Steve and Robin are like, where can we find like weapons? And Nancy was like, I have guns in my room. It's fine.
Closet.
That's so Nancy though. Like if there's one thing about Nancy Wheeler, she loves her guns. She loves her Second Amendment for sure.
Dude, yeah, for sure.
She's into it. Erica tells Lucas to tell her what's going on or she'll spill what she found under Lucas's bed. Which is hilarious, and I have no idea, but like that's enough to scare Lucas to telling Erica
just
like
what Erica said. We don't even want to get to the threatening part, okay?
And Erica, she asked some really good questions actually. Like she asked like how Watergate was made in the first place. And Dustin pins that the Mind Flayer must be in charge and is using Vecna to create these gates from the Upside Down to the real world in Hawkins. Mm-hmm. Steve, in the Upside Down of the Wheeler's house, he hears Dustin like talking to Erica about all of this stuff. So now we know that like you can hear like little murmurs, like like it's very faint. But
we've known this since season 1 with Will and the Christmas lights.
Yes, exactly. So at least like we're continuing our like the world that we like set up.
Surprised every time it comes up.
Yeah. Nancy goes up to her room in the Upside Down version, and she can't find the gun in her closet, which is weird. And then so she finds note cards from the night her and Steve were studying, which is the night that Will went missing. Mm-hmm. And so they figure out that like this Upside Down is like time-stamped to the night that Will went missing, which is very interesting. Mm-hmm. They see the chandelier in the Upside Down shining this like gold dust that they describe feels like warm and like tingly and like I don't know, like it's like a sign of life basically. Nancy puts her hand up to it and like the lights start spazzing out in the right side up where like Erica and Dustin are like talking about like Watergate and stuff. So Nancy and them decide to Morse code SOS like through this like light channeling system that goes between like the upside down and the right side up.
These kids that watch this show would be so lost going, what are they doing with the lights? What does that mean? What's a sauce? What's SOS sauce? Sauce? What is that?
I have no idea how to listen to or how to like interpret Morse code. So good on these kids for being so smart.
Well, it's the 80s. I mean, please.
Dustin then uses a light bright to communicate with the teens in the upside down, which is
bright.
so cool. What a cool like 80s thing to like
I love
be
my
thrown
light
into.
bright.
Yeah, it's a light brights seem to make a comeback. They're cool, but so like they plug like the entire light bright board with like the little lights, and they unplug it to like make sure that there's no like intentional electric source. And then Nancy writes "hi" and "stuck" that appear on the light bright board in the right side up. So now they're like communicating for the first time between like the right side up and the upside down. I just love all of this. Yeah, I actually thought that. I was like, this is kind of like the first like way of
what
like
would you call it? It's upside down, it's right side up, it's what is it? It's
like upside down messaging.
You're
like
up,
a UM.
you're up and downing.
Like a UDM. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh Lord.
Dustin tells the teens that there's a gate at every murder site. And so like the teens in the upside down, they decide like, all right, like we need to get back to Hawkins in the right side up. The closest gate to us is probably Eddie's trailer, which is 7 miles away. So they take bikes from the Wheelers' garage in the upside down and start biking towards Eddie's trailer in the upside down where they think the gate will be. Dustin, Lucas, Max, and Erica sneak out of the Wheeler house. And I love this like awesome panning shot of like the kids are like running out and like it like flips to the upside down where like the teens are like on bikes. So they're like on the same road, like heading to Eddie's trailer in both the upside down and the right side up. The teens pass the Krill house in the upside down. They see it swarming with the demo bats. They make it to the trailer park, and Dustin pokes through the gate in Eddie's trailer. And this is so cool, Allison. Like the kids are like looking up at the gate, and they see the teens in the upside down also looking up, but it's like looking down. It's hard to like explain over a podcast.
I'll explain it. You ever seen the movie Poltergeist?
No.
Okay. God damn it. Why am I shocked? The original Poltergeist, 1982, Spielberg. I'm not talking about the 2015. It's a remake. If I hear a person say reimagining one more time, I'm going to lose. I'm going to flip a table. I'm tossing a cat and punching a baby. It's remaking, okay? We're running out of ideas, people. Admit it. We're at that point. But anyway, in Poltergeist, they have to go in this to get Carol Ann out of the, she's been kidnapped by the other side, okay? The spirits. Mm-hmm. And the house is built on top of an Indian burial ground, and her closet is where the spirits came in and grabbed her and took her under wherever they were. And the only way they could get her back is to go inside her closet where this beaming light is coming out. So they test it. They throw a tennis ball through it, and it comes down and it goes through, and it's special effects, and it comes down in the middle of the living room. So they're like, okay, so they throw another ball. It does the same thing. So then they throw a rope, and the rope goes down, and they're pulling on it. They're like, okay, so we can send mom or dad in there to grab Carolyn. She's like 4 years old. She's tiny. Grab her on the way and bring her back down. So it's like a portal. It's like a, and you see, like you look and it's very similar. I think it's not the same thing. Don't shoot. I'm not dying.
But that's probably where they got like inspiration for this though, because like Dustin does the same exact thing. Like he ties like a bed sheet into like a rope, basically throws it like through the gate, and then it just like stays in place because it's hanging from like the ceiling of the gate on both ends, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
So like
but there's
gravity
always
is
a
like working in
portal,
their
yeah.
favor,
Mhm.
like both ways, if that makes any sense.
The only difference is it's not upside down, like
Yeah.
yeah. So
So at this point, though, Nancy starts hallucinating, and she suddenly finds herself in the upside down pool where Barb was killed. And then Vecna brings Nancy to his red lair to show her the backstory. And I love that like Vecna picks like Nancy for this moment because he knows that she's the reporter, she's the investigator. Like
she's not
he
scared.
she's not scared, and he knows that
Here.
like he wants his story to be told, and she's the reporter to like. Could you imagine if he picked like Steve or Robin for
Oh,
this
dude.
moment?
See, once again, like here we are with the It reference.
Yeah.
Like it feeds on fear.
Yeah.
And there's no fear to feed on.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm gonna, use you how I can. But yeah,
Yeah.
because she's not scared.
So that's it for Hawkins in this episode. The Elle and like 1/Vecna stuff. So this is all like what Elle is like imagining while in the sensory deprivation tank. So Papa lines the kids up and asks who gave Elle a concussion. Like, so basically like the kids like
they're bullying her. They're teasing her.
Elle.
Yeah. In the rainbow room.
Two speaks up and kind of like takes the fall for it, and he gets like this like shock collar like put on him. So we're seeing that like Papa is like pretty abusive to like all of these kids.
Oh
like,
yeah,
he really treats them as like science experiments more than like human beings. Elle and 1 are then playing chess in the rainbow room, and he tells her what's going to happen. Papa is going to have 2 kill 11 in the rainbow room because he knows that she's too powerful and he can't control her. And 1 gives her like this key card to finally escape Hawkins' lab. Elle plays sick to one of the guards, so she asks to like go lay down. He's like, okay, sure. And she uses that opportunity to escape the rainbow room. She uses the key card, and she heads down to a boiler room where she runs into 1. And he shows her a drain pipe for her to crawl out of. He tells her he can't go with her because Papa installed this like tracker / like power disabler in his neck. So Elle's like, you just helped me with all of this. Like, can I like remove it for you?
Let me do something.
What could possibly go wrong here?
If you just take it out, it's fine. It's not going to hurt. I'm going to tell you okay, continue, but I've got a favorite part. Go ahead.
So she uses her powers to rip it out of him, and he uses his regained powers to kill all the guards chasing them.
Oh, well, you have to talk about the guards come up, and he just stands there and does this number. Like,
yeah.
And they all fall. I'm like, oh, shit's going down.
It's very reminiscent of season 1, like when Elle took out all of those guards in the elementary school.
Right.
All of them just like fell to their death like right away. So then she sees the truth of what happened the night of the massacre. She thought all the time that she's the one that killed these kids, but it was actually 1 that
was it. Charlie Creel? Is that his name?
Henry Creel.
Henry Creel.
Yes.
Creepy Creel.
So it was 1 that did it, not her. So we get the reveal that like 1 is Henry is Vecna. He said that his family wanted a fresh start. Like his family needed a fresh start. So he like they moved to Hawkins. That's when like he started like collecting these spiders in jars, killing animals in the yard, despising human life, saying that it's all meaningless, blah blah blah. He tells her like everyone's waiting for it all to be over, all while performing in this silly play day after day. It's just like typical like I want to destroy the human race because they're not worthy.
And you know what? Stuff. If you have that power, dude, just do it. Why do you have to play with everybody and treat everybody like marionettes? Do you know what that is? Puppets.
Yes. Yeah.
I just want to make sure poltergeist. I want to make sure. I don't know what I'm dealing with here sometimes, So yeah. So just destroy it.
So his mom like back in time, like his mom like sees like this like spiral that her son is having. So she enrolls him in like a psych ward that like Dr. Brenner is a part of. And that's why Henry decides to kill his mom and his sister and his dad then gets blamed for like all of these deaths. He tells Elle that he saved her from Papa by killing all of these kids, and she tells him no, like you didn't have to do this for me. She then throws him up against the wall in the Rainbow Room, and she inadvertently, like, she is just filled with so much rage that is like feeling like this power that she's like never felt on like this scale before. And she creates a portal to Dimension X where she sends Henry/1/Vecna through. Henry gets stuck in between like the real world dimension and Dimension X. Dimension X is like this like yellow, like weird, like otherworldly planet, and we see like the Demogorgons there. So like we know that like the Demogorgons are not native to the Upside Down. They're actually native to the Dimension X and like where like the Mind Flayer is from and all of that stuff. So, but in between the real world and Dimension X, there's kind of this like little layer of like red, like in between dimensions kind of like storm that like zaps him and like just like fries his body into this like decimated, like burnt guy.
Ew, you know?
Yeah. So that's what Ella's like seeing in the sensory deprivation thing at this point. And that's the end of episode 7.
You know what gets me is, where was this strength when she was fighting Billy in the sauna episode? Like, you're little and you're fighting the Vecna Creel, Creel, whatever, the Creel, and he, you know, and you're throwing him, you open another dimension, but you almost shit yourself while you're fighting Billy in the sauna room. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I'm not shitting on it. I'm not, no pun intended. I'm not, you know, I'm just saying that what gets me sometimes with shows like this, and I love Stranger Things, I'm not saying anything bad, is you see things that happen, like 11 is just discovering how strong she is. She's literally 11, okay, or younger.
Yeah.
And Henry Creel is this big dude, and he's a hell of a lot stronger than she is. And she throws him against the wall and pushes him through to another dimension. Yet you're having problems with Billy, what's Billy's like? I don't even know. Billy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just Billy.
Just Billy in the sauna. He's a lifeguard, for God's sake. That guy's a demigod flyer person.
Yeah.
And he's a lifeguard.
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, maybe she was holding back because she knew that he was like just like a host for the Mind Flayer, and like she didn't want to like kill Max's brother in that moment, maybe is why she was holding back. But yeah, like this is sense. This is on like another level than we've ever seen. And we have to remember, like, throughout like all of these like flashbacks, like they're showing Elle as older, but like every now and then they'll cut back to like a very like younger CGI version.
That's some good CGI. Where was this CGI for Twilight, that Twilight baby?
Or at the beginning of season 5.
No shit.
But so yeah, so they keep reminding us that like even though Elle is like older now, and she's like older while like replaying these memories in her head, like she is very much so like a very, very young kid while going through all this stuff in the Rainbow Room. All right, so chapter 8, Papa. Back in Russia, Hopper and Joyce catch up, and you can tell, like I said, there's just like immediately like no more bullshit between the two of them, and I love that like they're not playing games anymore, and like they both realize that like this is it and they are endgame. They go through the lab and they see like a Demogorgon strapped down and being prodded on to experiment on. They see tanks full of Demogorgons in this like liquid, like preserving them, which is stupid because you know that shit's gonna shatter. And they also find
you think those little glass tubes are gonna hold them, considering what they punch through universes and galaxies? Okay, good luck with your little tube.
And they also find like a fragment of the Mind Flayer contained in this like gas chamber, and that is so scary. A drain pipe from this lab leads to a manhole that goes outside of the Russian facility, and they find a van and escape through the front gate. And keep in mind, Hopper's doing all this with a broken ass foot.
Broke ass foot, and he's super hungry.
They drive to a spare plane that Yuri knows about, and they say it hasn't flown. Convenient, right? In the meantime, they make like a phone call. I know, it's so ridiculous, Allison. I can't with this. Like, oh, conveniently, there's like another plane here that like could possibly get us home.
It's falling apart. It's okay. I see duct tape and a hot glue gun over there. It looks ironclad. We'll be totally fine.
It's totally fine. So in the meantime, while Yuri is deciding whether or not he wants to fix this convenient plane, they try making a phone call to the States. So they wait in like the supply church for this call to return. So they're kind of like safe, but like waiting for what should we do next at this point. In Hawkins, we see we cut back to like Nancy being told like what Vecna's plan is to her. He says, I want to show you where I've been. I want to show you where I'm going. He straps Nancy into a chair and he opens her eyes with his like claw hand thing. And she sees flashes of like those 4 gates opening and converging in the middle of Hawkins. And he wants her to tell Elle like everything that she saw. Nancy tells the party everything, right? Like what's
this is just going around. This is taking a long shortcut, Vecna.
Yeah.
This is a long shortcut, dude. Just snap like Thanos and you're done.
Yeah. Like just put in like a TikTok version or something. So Nancy tells the party what she saw. Hawkins is on fire, dead soldiers, a giant creature with a gaping mouth and an army of monsters. She says that she saw her whole family dead. She sees like the 4 gates in Hawkins converging. And then Max adds that there's 4 chimes to his clock. And that's when they put together that like Vecna needs 4 kills for these 4 gates to converge to create this like huge opening gate in the middle of Hawkins. Like he's basically trying to like converge like the Upside Down and the real world into one like hellscape that he can control.
And it's not that he's tried to kill 4 people and he's succeeded with 3. It's the chimes on the clock that tipped them off.
Right, of course. So yeah, they realize like he's already got 3, so he's like very close to pulling off this plan.
He's so close to 4, y'all. He's so close to the number 4.
And then that's when Nancy's like, fuck this. We're going back into the Upside Down and we're killing Vecna. Like that's what's happening here. Dustin explains that Ella's in a trance while mind tapping. So, maybe Vecna is in the same kind of trance while he's like doing this like killing seance thing. So maybe that's the perfect time to possibly strike him. And Max volunteers to be the bait because he's already made contact with her. Like this is like the easiest way to ensure that Vecna is like in a trance and therefore
she's already written her letters. I mean, she's written the letters.
She's already written the letters. It's fine. If she's seen Steve shirtless, like it's fine.
I can go now.
Yeah. Eddie then hotwires an RV and the party steals it and escapes and heads to an armory to like stock up on weapons. And dude, this like armory scene is so like intense and crazy. Steve tells Nancy like, okay, we can like yada yada through this, but like Steve like basically tells Nancy like, I picture like a future with you and kids in an RV like this, blah 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 blah.
I love that scene though. Steve is so like he deserves the family.
He deserves a happy ending.
But he's not going to get. He's dying in season 5. That's not a spoiler. That's just my opinion.
We'll see.
I really think he's dying.
Yeah, so we just get like a bunch of like cute character moments. Like here, this is like kind of like the calm before like the big battle, really. Lucas, like he tries coming up with another plan for Max, but Max is like, no, like we have to accept that this is our best shot. And
can Lucas just shut up? Where's his slingshot? Can we give him something to do to keep him busy from talking?
I don't think
he needs that
this season. Yeah. Robin runs into Vicky at the armory. But then Vicky gets like startled by her boyfriend. She kisses him, but then she like sees Robin and gives her like this really like yearning, sad look. And Robin runs off and Vicky sees that. So like, I feel like Vicky knows at this point that Robin is crushing. Nancy is interested in buying a rifle, and she runs into Jason at the counter here.
Just blow his head off. Just let's be one and done.
This scene is so like tense because like he knows that Mike is in the Hellfire Club. He's seen like pictures of like flyers of this. So and Nancy tries to keep it cool. She like apologizes to Jason for his loss of Chrissy. And he responds by saying he should saw off the end of it of her gun so to like ensure that like she doesn't miss whatever she's trying to shoot. He then like says like then like you can't like the gun can't be like gripped in like a struggle either, like that kind of thing. The whole scene is just very like
that's a sawed-off shotgun, dude. That's nothing to play around with. That is some major damage.
He points the gun like right at her, like when he's like talking to her too, like so casually. It's crazy. So yeah, so then Journey's Separate Ways starts playing, and we just get this montage of like these kids are like ready for battle. They're in like war gear. They have all of their weapons. Like shit has never felt more like serious and real and dangerous. And like, they really are like this, like
ready for war. It's like the movie Red Dawn. Okay. The 1984 or 84 movie Red Dawn. And I'm not talking about that 2015 remake with Chris Hemsworth. I'm talking about the real deal with Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, Jennifer Grey, a bunch of other 80s legends, okay, battling Russians in a small town. Hello, parallels here, people. Keep up. Keep up. That's why I'm here.
Yes.
Keep you in check. Think about it. Think I got you thinking.
So back in Utah, Elle officially, she has her I wrote down Nevada instead of Utah for some reason, so it's just like tripping me up. But somewhere out west in the middle of nowhere.
One of the Taws, okay?
Yeah. So Elle officially has her powers back, and she lifts the whole Nina tank like up in the air to like prove herself here. Back in the pizza van, Will shows Mike his like painting that he's been working on, and it's the whole party fighting this like 3-headed dragon. Will is a sorcerer, and he explains that like Mike is like the heart of the party. And I love that like Jonathan sees all of this going down, and like this scene is so like Will is like he's kind of coming to terms that like Mike is in love with 11 and this is not going to happen, but like he still yearns for it. So he's like looking out the window, just like sobbing. And I love that like Jonathan, he knows his brother well enough that like he knows like what's going on.
And he's like, I love you. And
it
chokes me up.
Papa and Owens explain that like they know the killings in Hawkins are Henry Creel, and Hawkins is in grave danger.
You think? Where you been?
11 then tries mind tapping Max, and she sees that like she sees all of them like like she sees the whole party like forming this plan to kill Vecna. And so she immediately is like, I want to leave, like take me back to Hawkins immediately. But Papa tells her she's not ready and basically gives her no choice. Like Owens supports 11 in wanting to leave here, but Papa is very like just back to his like old controlling ways.
For some reason, no one is intimidated by this tall, skinny, white-haired man. Yeah. Like, I could kick his ass. Really, people? Get out of the way. Just move.
Yeah. So she tells him he is the monster, not anybody else. And she knows that she was just a tool, like that was just used and abused and thrown away like all this time. And she's over it. And she's leaving. She doesn't care what he says. And he injects her in the back of the neck with like a syringe to like pass her out. And yeah, she's knocked out.
At this point, her.
The feds then barge in, and they find like Owens is like handcuffed to a pole. So like they have like turned on Owens at this point too. Papa takes her outside, like she's like passed out in his arms, and he like takes her outside of the facility, and he gets like shot by like a helicopter sniper multiple times. The sniper then goes for Elle. He gets the final approval from Sullivan, who's like the head of the feds. And Owens is like screaming, like, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't understand. Like, she's our last chance. He doesn't listen to Owens. He gives the command to shoot. The shooter gets distracted by this pizza truck
Yeah, like,
driving
what
in the
is
middle
this?
of the desert.
Is that pineapple?
And then the sniper like moves like back over to like shoot at Elle. She's not there. She's like standing over on the side with like her hand up in the air. And this shot is so freaking cool, Allison. Like we just see 11 just like use her powers to bring down the entire helicopter. There's this huge grand explosion. Elle is finally reunited with like Mike and like the California crew. And she says like one last goodbye to Papa and like leaves him for dead, and they drive off together.
But you know what? You know what that reminds me of? In The Rise of Skywalker, the last Star Wars film that came out, Rey, the girl Rey, is in the desert, and Chewbacca has been kidnapped, okay, by the stormtroopers and shit. So they've got him in this little air, and they're flying off, and she does this, and she just she's pulling it down and everything, and then all of a sudden she shoots fucking lightning out of her hand and brings
Honestly,
it
this
down.
is way cooler and more believable.
I know. It's just funny because it ends up it was a decoy. Spoiler alert, he wasn't on it. So she blew up the wrong thing. And she didn't kill her friend. She thought she did. Anyway. So I just love that kind of thing is like, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So we are here at the season finale, chapter 9, the piggyback. Allison, we're going on 2 hours now. I think this might be unofficially, I'll have to like check the tapes, but like I think this is our longest podcast we've ever done together.
Honestly, I checked the time because I've done podcasts by myself.
I mean, you and me. Like, yeah, I think this is the longest.
I did one for 3 hours going through my streaming queue on all my apps. I'm like,
I remember that.
Who's gonna watch this? And then
all right, so I'm gonna go through like the Russians stuff, the Utah stuff, and the Hawkins stuff, and then once we get to like executing the Vecna attack plan, like that's when I'm gonna go in like chronological order here. So in Russia, Joyce and Hopper have a pretty intimate scene in the supply church where they change separately, but she sees him like mending his own wounds, so she like goes over to help, and it's so sweet. And like
he's hot.
They're talking. Yeah, they're talking about looking forward to their date at Enzo's, and they finally have their big kiss. And of course, this kiss is interrupted by them finally getting the phone call back from one of Owen's like associates, like guards or whatever.
What do you prefer, though? Do you prefer a fuller Hopper or the thinner Hopper? I like him filled out.
I like him filled out too.
With the stash. I'm more into that. I'm not into the skinny bald thing.
I'm with you too. Like he looks a little emaciated. Like maybe like he has that like Ozempic face at this point.
It's not like he could help it. It's not like he went on vacation, took a bunch of Ozempic in the White Lotus. You know, he was in a Russian camp. Bradley Jackson. This is
he rocks the dad bod like very well. So
he does it very well.
Yeah. I feel you. So Hopper connects with Owen's assistant, and she tells him that Hawkins is in grave danger and they need to get back right away. They realize they don't have a way back in time, but they can hurt the hive mind from inside the Russian prison. So that's how they plan to help whatever is going on here. In Utah, Elle explains that she can piggyback to Vecna through mind tapping into Max. They just need like a sensory deprivation tank, basically. So Argyle suggests, let's go to the pizza shop and we'll set up shop there. So they convince the guy closing the store to like let them do their thing by offering him some weed.
So kindred spirit. Argyle and this guy are speaking the same language. Just listen. I'll close up, amigo. It's the same thing, same layout, whatever. It's totally fine.
Mike, he apologizes to Elle for like not saying "I love you" enough, and then we get this like really great scene between John and Will, where like Jonathan like tells Will that he loves him no matter what, and it's so sweet. All right,
I love that scene so much, but I'm so sick and tired of Mike making it about him. Look, she's about to go in the sensory tank without her hair.
Yeah,
look what she's been through, for God's sake. And you want to make it about not saying "I love you"? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Like
even
the
Billy said he loved his sister before he freaking died. Get out of here
right.
with your shit. Bye,
I still
Mike.
don't understand why he like didn't say he loved her like all that time. I don't understand. Like why was that a thing?
Because he's in love
But
with the whitey tidies I was forced to see him in at the
oh
beginning of
god.
the season. Jesus.
All right, so in the Hawkins slash Upside Down, so there's a 4-phase plan that they are putting together, and Nancy says nobody moves to different phases without the approval from everybody in the group. Nobody deviates from the plan, and they all head to Eddie's trailer for the gate. Dustin and Eddie stay at the trailer to guard the gate. Steve, Robin, and Nancy head to Vecna in the Upside Down, like in the Creel house in the Upside Down. Max, Erica, and Lucas head to the Creel house in the right side up, and they start like exploring around the inside of the mansion to like with these like mosquito lanterns to find out like where Vecna is located, like in the mansion. Erica, her lantern starts to glow, and they alert to Lucas with notepads so that they're not speaking and they don't like hear each other like on the upside down version of that.
With
That
notepads.
yes,
Just so you know, I can't text it to you. I gotta write it
yeah.
on the thing.
But
Hopefully,
like
it's not
these,
cursive
I have
because
to
you
give
guys
these
would be
kids
lost.
credit. Like this plan is so thought out and thorough.
Yeah.
Like this, I just love how like this is the culmination of like everything this whole party has like learned over the past 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So with that, they found Vecna. So phase 1 begins. Erica runs out to the playground across the street from the Creel house. Eddie and Dustin barricade the upside down trailer. Eddie grabs his guitar and asks Dustin if he's ready for the most metal concert of his life.
Heck yeah. Master Puppets. Isn't that what it Metallica?
Master of
Master
Puppet?
Puppets?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
It's so cool. But Steve, Robin, and Nancy get to the Creel house in the Upside Down, and they see the playground glowing like that like warm glow stuff. So they know Erica is in place. Max and Lucas agree to a movie date after this is over. I think that's a really cute scene. She like draws like them like holding hands in the movie theater together. So like we're seeing that like Max is like warming up to Lucas again. Was that Chris?
I don't no, that was me snoring. I was sleeping with my eyes open when you're talking about Lucas and Matt. I'm so over the 2 of them. These are just the most fucked up relationship these kids are in. These are not healthy relationships. These are toxic relationships. See, I can't even, I subconsciously, I said
Nothing builds relationships like shared trauma, though. Like that's all this is.
But that doesn't mean you have to stay with someone because you have shared trauma. It's kind of like when
Yeah.
you're related to an asshole. It's like, well, I have to put up with it because he's family. No, you
Yeah, you
don't.
don't.
So anyway,
Preach.
yeah.
Everybody remember that going into Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So Erica flashes her flashlight, like telling Lucas and Max that like everybody is in place. We're ready to move to phase 2. Max then turns off Kate Bush and they are ready to begin the plan and begin like Max being used as bait. So from here on out, I'm going to go chronologically now. So Elle mind taps to Max to see her trying to summon Vecna, and she then piggybacks into like one of Max's like memories to try and find like where is Max in her mind right now? Like, can I like find Vecna through this like memory that Max is creating?
Yeah.
Erica gets the confirmation to move forward to phase 3. So Eddie begins his metal concert on the roof of the RV, and all the demo bats in the Upside Down leave the Creel house in the Upside Down to head towards the noise. Steve, Robin, and Nancy head inside now that the bats aren't there, and they're like avoiding all of these like vines and stuff like that because they know it's all like a big like hive mind. Jason and his friend from the basketball team show up and they chase Erica. Max then wakes up in like a memory of the winter dance that she had with Lucas. So that's like the big scene where this like fight in Max's memory will take place. The Russia crew breaks back in to the lab. They notices the Demogorgons are all broken out of the tank and the Mind Flayer particles are broken out too. So like hell is like breaking loose like in Russia at this point too. Jason finds Lucas and Max in the attic of the Creel house, and Jason pulls a gun on him and he tells her to wake her up immediately or he's going to shoot Lucas. The demo bats start attacking the RV. Steve, Rob, and Nancy are like climbing up the stairs to the attic of the Creel house in the Upside Down. But the vines then like catch and hang like all three of them against the wall.
Yeah.
So like they are like getting like choked at this point by the hive mind. The bats start breaking into the RV. So Dustin and Eddie like start to retreat. Dustin climbs up through the gate and through, but Eddie decides, maybe this is his time to be a hero. And as much as like as admirable as that is, like we all agreed that like we're not going to deviate from the plan. Eddie,
we're not deviating from the plan.
Come on.
Got it? Don't be. I think even Steve looks at him and says, "Don't try to be a
Yeah.
hero."
Yes, yeah. So Eddie then cuts the sheet rope thing that's like connecting the right side up to the upside down through the gate, and he leaves on bike. So the bats are like all chasing him at this point. Vecna tells Max that it's time. Lucas tries telling Jason the truth, but he doesn't believe it, and he also still doesn't believe that Chrissy did drugs. Lucas and Jason just start like beating the absolute shit out of each other, and Jason steps on the tape player. So now like Max doesn't have a way to escape like Vecna at this point again. Vecna begins lifting Max up in the air in her mind, like at the school dance thingy. But Elle shows up to this dance and she lifts Vecna up like with her own powers. So Elle has successfully piggybacked to Max's like hallucination where she is like encountering Vecna here. Eddie decides to stop running and fight the bats to the death. Hopper leads Demogorgons to like the pit where like the fight like took out earlier. Erica breaks free from the bully, runs to runs back to the Creel house. Elle and Vecna then start fighting in Max's memory, and he tells her that he wants her to watch him kill Max. Like he's like, I just wanted you dead at one point, but now I just want you to watch, is what he says. She tries like telling him like
stuff.
Right, he's a little bit of a voyeur.
Yeah.
She tries like, this isn't you. You don't have to do this. Papa's the real monster. Blah 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 blah. And Vecna's like, no, you're like 11. You're the one that made me this way. And he like reminds her.
Let's say just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He's not entirely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You did punch him through a wall into an universe.
Yeah. An alternate dimension.
I don't know, paradox, whatever you want to call it. And his clothes melted to him and he caught on fire. And now look at him, for God's sake. He looks like a pulsating turd with legs.
Yeah.
That's not fun, Elle. That's not fun. At least you can grow your hair back.
Yeah.
Come on.
So he tells 11 that it's too late for any of that and that like all of her friends are losing at this point. Eddie's being eaten alive. The teens in the Creel house and the Upside Down are being strangled. Lucas is being beaten up by Jason. Hopper's getting jumped by Demogorgons. Like it could not be lower for everybody involved right now. Like everybody is like about to. It's not looking good. Vecna begins his like killing ritual to Max. So she's being lifted in the air in the Creel house and the right side up at this point. And Elle is having this like big seizure reaction in the pizza shop at this point. And this is when Mike,
they're doing nothing.
Elle, I love you. I love you, Elle.
I love you. Shut the up, Mike.
Exactly. It's like little parts like sweet and cringe. Like I understand like why they have to do this, but like Mike's performance is just like cringe.
He's never acting again. It's okay.
But then the tides start to turn. Lucas knocks out Jason just in time to see Max's arms. They start like doing the whole Vecna breaking and stuff like that. It's
crackle pop.
Snap, crackle, pop. Yeah. 11 then throws Vecna up against the wall. Murray then torches a few Demogorgons conveniently with the flamethrower that's in the supply church, and that's when
who doesn't have one in a supply church.
I have one in my closet over here. Yeah, of course.
You ever been to church?
I have
tons of them.
So because like it's like a whole like hive mind thing, with the Demogorgons being torched in Russia, the vines like start loosening around like the Robin, Steve, and Nancy in the Creel house in the Upside Down. So they head up to the attic and they see Vecna is like in the middle of his like trance, like about to kill Max, but he's like vulnerable at this point.
For some reason, he takes his sweet ass time with Max. Everyone else, it was quick, but with Max, I'm just gonna ride this out and milk it for every penny, every ounce of everything. If he had just snap crackled and popped her ass right away, this wouldn't even be a 5th season. We'd be done.
Yeah. So Hopper then picks up like a sword, and that's when like we.
Where the fuck did the sword come from?
I was wondering that too. I was like, what the heck? We just have a whole armory here apparently.
It's next to the flamethrower.
I mean, maybe the Russians went shopping at that armory store in Hawkins and brought it all over there. But no, so he grabs the sword, and this is where like this is my favorite sequence in all of Stranger Things, because we get this awesome remix of running up that hill, and just every group is just so like badass as they come together here. So Hopper, okay, so Robin and Steve, they throw Molotov cocktails at Vecna because they know like fire's like a big weakness for all the things in the Upside Down. Vecna is on fire. He falls to the ground. At this point, Hopper cuts off an arm of the Demogorgon and then the head of the Demogorgon in like one clean swoop. It's so freaking cool. So once this happens, Max falls out of the trance and like into Lucas's arms, but like her eyes are like all like white and like all of her like bones are broken and stuff. And she's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. It's really sad. It's really violent. And then at this point, Nancy steps forward with her solid shotgun and shoots Vecna 4 times at point blank range. And I have to tell you, Allison, I have to imagine like Nancy is just imagining like this is all like justice for Barb. Like this has been like her like driving motivation like since season 1, just this really big sense of like injustice. And I love that Nancy is the one that like Robin and Steve just stand there like paralyzed with fear, but Nancy takes those steps forward. She is not afraid at all, and she's just so badass in this moment. I love it.
She just doesn't. She's like, I'm out of fuck. I got 0. I'm out of them. Let's go.
So she shoots him. He falls out of the attic window, and then of course, like when they leave the house, like he's nowhere to be found. So he is injured, but he has not been defeated. Yuri then conveniently arrives with the convenient plane that has conveniently been fixed now to pick up Joyce, Hopper, and Murray. And then we get the Eddie death scene. So like Dustin finds Eddie. He is like morally like wounded, and Eddie tells Dustin how much he loves him and how like he needs to like stay true to who he is. He wants Dustin to like lead Hellfire Club after he goes. And then he takes his last breath in Dustin's arms, and it's such a sad scene. Like Eddie was such a fun, like 1 season character.
I loved it so much. Yeah. I've been listening to these other podcasts because yes, I listen to other podcasts. I mean, I have to take notes on what's good because this clear, look at us for God's sake. But anyway, everyone is talking about Eddie could come back. The Duffer Brothers have been very adamant about Eddie is not coming back. That goes against everything that he died for. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a flashback or something, but I doubt it. I doubt it. Now, we could bring some Billy Hardgrove back. I think I remember his last name.
Hardgrove? There you go.
Anyway, hey, bring him back without a shirt. I got no problem.
Right? Same. Ella's watching like Max telling Lucas like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. But then she like takes her last breath. And I know there's a lot of confusion about like, did Max like actually die? In my opinion, she fully dies here, because once she
Okay.
dies, like that's when the gate like happens, like the fourth death happens, like the four chimes happen, and that's when all four of the gates start like their like converging
Yeah.
lines. That line from Max goes right through Jason's body, so he is gone as well. He gets
So
ripped in
satisfying.
half, and I fucking love that.
So let me ask you a question. Like L11 is watching Lucas and Max have this moment. Did either one of them happen to say "I love you"?
I don't think so.
Okay, because maybe Elle held out for. I just want to see if they say "I love you," so I've got some ammunition to
Right?
bring back when I get out of this tank.
But this is new for 11. Like what happens to L and or Max if like a mind tap is like happening while one of them dies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of questions around like what like the aftermath from, like, of course we know in season 5 like Max is like in a coma and stuff like that, and who knows like what's going to happen to her. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of like question marks to me in terms of like how all of this works in terms of like Elle being in Max's mind when she literally dies. So all of the gates like converge, all meeting in downtown Hawkins at the library. Interesting, because that's where Vecna held Will captive in the first season. So again, the library is like this like important set piece for Vecna for whatever reason. But so yeah, so all the gates like converge, and then cut to black. This is where like this like short little epilogue begins. So Elle, Mike, Will, Jonathan, and Argyle all arrive to Hawkins, and they see all the destruction. Like a news segment says that it's like a giant earthquake, but like we knew the truth, obviously.
Show me the fault line, please.
They all meet Lucas in the hospital where Max is at. She's in a coma and a neck brace, and he's trying to like read stories to her. And I think it's so sweet that Erica is there as well. Like Erica is like so there for Lucas this season in a really great way.
Oh yeah,
I just
she
love her
always.
character development this
Oh yeah.
season. We get a cute little Robin and Vicky scene at like this like emergency relief station set up at school. Vicky tells her that her and her boyfriend broke up, and she accidentally puts like 2 peanut butter slices together instead of peanut butter and jelly. So I feel like that's kind of like a subtle way to say like I play for the same team instead of liking the opposite. You know what I mean?
That could be code.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dustin tells Eddie's uncle that he was a hero and he didn't die in vain. He stayed true to himself until the very end, which is a really sweet scene. There's still some tension between Jonathan and Nancy, whatever.
That's dumb.
Will warns Mike that he still feels the Mind Flayer's presence and they should be prepared for what's to come. Elle tries mind tapping Max one more time, but like there's nothing there. It's just all like she can't like tap into her at all. Hopper comes home and it's a really sweet reunion between him and Elle. Like this is the first time they've seen each other since like Elle left for California after she assumed that he died like at the end of season 3. So this has been a long time coming.
Wow, imagine that. They kept these 2 actors in season 4 away from each other the entire time.
I've never thought about that, but you're
except for the
right.
last scene.
I feel like maybe there's some like tension on set or something that we.
I don't know. Maybe some tension, some bullying.
Yeah, I don't know. But so then the last shot of season 4 is Will feeling the Mind Flayer in the back of his neck, and there's like upside down particles like floating in the air. So like upside down and like right side up Hawkins are like converging into one hellscape. Like Vecna has succeeded in his plan, and they're just watching over Hawkins like burning. And Allison, that's the end of season 4.
I would be so pissed if I were 11. If I were Jane 11 Hopper, I'd be so pissed. I'm like, God, I have done everything I humanly possible for you people. And you did everything. You open up shit, I close. Why? What? What do I have to do? Sacrifice myself? So, which, brings me to we've got season 5 coming, and I don't want to do too many because everybody's all over the place. I
Yeah.
mean, there's like Steve's gonna die. Um, Hopefully they've touched up the young Will CGI for the opening scene, because that was a little rough, dude. That was a little rough. Um,
There's one
maybe
little, sorry, go ahead.
maybe Elle throws her. She's like, you know what? I can't. I mean, Jesus, I'm going to die like Tony Stark. I'm going to do it myself. Jesus, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to throw myself in the hole, in the portal. In that way, I know it'll stay closed. Jesus, I mean, I would be angry. I'm sorry, but she's done so much and
Mm-hmm.
been through so much, and
It really has.
yeah, and yeah. Go
So we'll
ahead.
see. But
Yeah.
one little piece of context from the Stranger Things play that is all about Henry Creel as a
Uh-huh.
kid, that I wanted to bring up here is, so like when his dad in the insane asylum is saying like, we wanted a fresh start, so we moved to Hawkins. So basically what happens in the play, and this is a very like short version of this, but basically what happens is, okay, Papa's father was in charge of this like experiment that's kind of related to like something that happened in real life, but like they wanted this boat to like disappear. And so they like it, like in real life, like they wanted to like try to like make objects like disappear,
It
and
sounds like a
somehow like,
really bad David Copperfield magic show where they tried to make the Statue of Liberty disappear. You probably don't remember that.
so basically like Papa's dad and like his team of scientists like discover Dimension X, which is where the Mind Flayer is. They capture like particles of the Mind Flayer, and then Papa takes those particles of Mind Flayer that are like contained in, um, I believe he brings it to Utah, and in Utah is where the particles escape. The Mind Flayer particles find Henry Creel as a kid, and they flay like, so he is flayed by the Mind Flayer as a kid before they move to Hawkins. So like
Oh.
when all of like the spider stuff and like all of that is happening, like that's just the Mind Flayer like getting stronger in his control over Henry Creel. But like the initial flaying happened like before they moved to Hawkins as a kid. And the whole reason like the Mind Flayer was in the right side up to begin with is because of Papa's father mishandling like containing Mind
That
Flayer
whole
particles that they
that whole
discovered in the Upside Down.
family just tree needs to be just chopped
I
and
know,
burned to the ground. God, I hope
for
there
real.
aren't any more out there. I mean,
um,
seriously.
but yeah, so that's like a little context for like how that came to be. But like I just wanted to reiterate that point because like that I truly believe, and this is kind of like season 5 like theories before we wrap up here, but like I truly believe that the Mind Flayer is the big bad, and he is using Vecna to execute all of this stuff. Like Vecna is like the grand host. Like we saw the Mind Flayer use Billy as a host, but like Vecna is on like a whole nother level because he has these powers that he developed from getting zapped like in between like Dimension X in the real world and all of that stuff. So so how did the Upside Down get created? How did the Mind Flayer get Demogorgons and Demobats and all of that stuff from Dimension X over to the Upside Down? A lot of questions still to be answered, but they have said that like we will have like everything answered.
I've been burned. I've been burned. Hand to God. I'm telling you, Lost and
they're gonna
Walking
they're gonna
all of
stick the landing with this one. I truly believe it.
look, because I have a record. I'll stick it out. I will stay in an abusive relationship with a
Same.
TV show. It's been
Yeah.
proven a time
Yeah.
and time again. I'll do it. Just I don't know why. I don't
We're
know.
in 27 seasons of Big Brother. Like,
I 27, and that's not even including the celebrity and OTTs.
yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, any last
Yeah.
like season 5 theories before we wrap up or anything?
just a spoiler. If you don't want any spoiler, this is your spoiler. I watched that outline of the first episode
Yeah.
that you sent me last couple
Yeah. Yeah. Like the
and
first 5 minutes.
talking about it talks about the whole episode.
Oh,
The
yeah.
one that
Yeah.
I watched was the whole episode.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And Holly is touched. She's got an ability of some kind, or she can sense things like Will, and Vecna or whoever starts trying to use her.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's where the whole hiding in the bathtub with Mama Wheeler comes in.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see what they're going to do with Holly and all this training that's got Elle wearing shorts over biker shorts. It just kills me every time I see someone do that. And
My
yeah.
big question is like, what we still don't know, like why Will is so important, and what Will has that like the Mind Flayer and Vecna are interested in. And I
Well, there's a
want like,
theory.
yeah,
There's a theory. He's from a
what's the
broken
theory?
home. Chrissy, broken home.
Mm-hmm.
Franklin, Frederick or whatever, he's a
Fred,
broken home. His
yeah,
parents, all that, the car accident. Now the other guy from the basketball team, I'm not sure what his deal was, but Max is from a broken home. And this is me just talking. This isn't from
yeah,
anything. This is just my brain. I think a broken home, and it goes to say, and it's a sad, sad thing, and this is not every child, okay? But some children, their homes are so broken that they're easier to control and manipulate and things like that. And so
yeah.
I simply see that's the trigger. That's what I see. I mean, that's just me though.
Now, one more piece that has been recently confirmed by the Duffer Brothers, I believe like yesterday or 2 days ago. So they actually confirmed that it was not Vecna that Will saw on the right side up the night that he went missing. Like that shot of like that like figure on the street when Will like started like
Yeah.
getting chased. They confirmed that that is a Demogorgon, but they also confirmed that Demogorgons don't have telepathic abilities. So that raises the question, who opened the door to the buyer's house when Will like ran in there while being chased? And
Okay,
so,
I got a
yeah,
whole thing. I got a whole luggage to unpack. Listen, I have a feeling. I've got a big feeling there's going to be some future. Okay. Just hear me out for a second. We're going to experience, I'm just throwing, this is me snowballing. I think we're going to deal with some time travel. I really do. I feel like that shadowy figure standing in the open, that could have been an adult Will. That could have been anybody. And also I want to point out that yes, Holly is from a broken home because she's related to Mike fucking Wheeler. Okay, that counts. But anyway, I'm just saying I think we're going to see something that could have been anybody. That could have been Elle as an adult, knowing what was going to happen. Okay, we've got to make sure the door's open. We got to make sure this and this happens, because if it doesn't, we've got a whole other alternate universe going on. We could be getting into alternate universes, all kinds of nerd shit. I'm serious. Like if they're going balls to the wall, this is how you do it. And there was okay, I don't want to spoil the movie 12 Monkeys. Spoiler, if you don't want to know how it ends, turn it off. I know you don't care. You never heard of it. You've never seen it. I know it all. And Bruce Willis, 1995. It's got Brad Pitt. You've never seen it. I know. I'm not even going to ask. But Bruce Willis gets sent back in time to 1996 to stop a plague from happening. And the plague is released by a group called the 12 Monkeys, who are animal activists who release animals from this testing place. This is very Planet of the Apes, but it's not the same thing. Well, yes, it is. But anyway, so he finds the person with the he thinks is the person with the virus.
Yeah.
And they go to try to get him. Well, Bruce Willis keeps thinking about, when I was a little boy, I was in an airport and I saw a lady and a man, and they were like looked like they were kind of in disguises, and the guy was running, and the woman was like, "No," and the guy got shot and killed, and he was carrying a briefcase that had something in it that was very important, and this other person picked it up and took off with it. Now, what the Bruce Willis didn't realize is he was seeing himself dying.
Yeah.
That was him. He and this
Okay.
woman tracked down the virus that was going to kill everybody. They were getting on a plane with it because, this was pre 9/11. You get on a plane with freaking Molotov cocktail and it's totally fine. So he's got, the thing, and they run him down and they kill him. And then the person that made the virus picks it up and takes off with it.
Yeah.
So
no, you're right. Like there could be some time travel shenanigans because like I did read like a theory online that said like, like before Mike, Lucas, and Dustin find 11 in the woods in like the end of the first episode of Stranger Things, they hear like a bunch of like rustling in the woods, and you would assume that that's like 11, but actually like maybe it's them like older, like watching this
yes,
happen from afar. You know what I mean?
something is happening. Yes.
Furthermore, so like a lot of people are now theorizing that like it was actually 11 that opened the door to the buyer's house, like when Will was like being chased and like we saw the door like telepathically open, because at the end of season 2 when 11 comes back from Chicago, like it's that same shot of her like opening the door telepathically to like meet back up with the party at the end of season 2. So I don't know, like maybe the Demogorgon was like chasing 11 like the entire time, the night that Will went missing, and maybe the Demogorgon, because like she was being described as like a young boy, like by the guy that owned the diner, like the cops chasing her. So maybe the Demogorgon mistook 11 and like mistook 11 for Will, thinking
Right.
that, you know what I mean? So maybe like Will wasn't supposed to be chased at all, and maybe we don't know how Will got transported to the Upside Down that night, but maybe like the goal was to transport 11 to the Upside Down that night to be
I have
captured
a plot twist.
by Vecna.
I have a
What
plot
is it?
twist. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you chills. Are you
Ready.
ready?
I'm ready.
It was number 8 the whole time.
It's possible.
Callie, whatever her name was. Number 8 has been lurking the entire time. Think about it. It doesn't seem a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot.
Listen, the actress was at the red carpet premiere for season 5.
So was Barb. But I'm saying, show up.
Maybe it was Barb the whole time.
She could make people see things that aren't there. What if, think about it, if you go back and watch season 1, how long was Joyce alone in that house with the Christmas lights lighting up, communicating with Will? Who else saw that? Jonathan?
Mm-hmm.
Hopper?
Mm-hmm. Who knows if it was even Will on the other side of that communicating with her too.
You've got to open your mind to anything. I feel like we're gonna have a big monster Stranger Things dump. Okay, and it's gonna be so satisfying. Like you're gonna want to weigh yourself after. It's gonna be so good. Like it's like you gotta weigh yourself before the episode. And then weigh yourself after the season. Okay. It's going to be satisfying. We're about to take a big Stranger Things shit. And I can't wait, guys. We will be back. We're going to cover the first, what are they releasing?
The first 4 episodes.
We'll come back in a couple weeks, whatever, and cover the 4 episodes. and go over what we think and how wrong I was on everything I've talked about, because it's usually me
Yeah.
going, well, what I was working with what I had, excuse that I always have.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. But yeah, we'll be back to like recap the first 4 episodes of season 5 and fill in all the gaps for like all these questions that we have and stuff. But
So
whew, what a doozy of a show that we just did here.
telling you,
So yeah.
my
So
husband's crawling across the floor, so hungry. It's hilarious. I'm like, we're both
so is
losing
Sora.
weight.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you guys all for tuning in, and happy Stranger Things Day tomorrow to all that celebrate. Yeah, let us know what you thought about our recaps. Like, give us like comments, give us like your theories, like all of that stuff. But yeah, I think that's it for us. So yeah, anything else before we?
No, I've got nothing.
Okay.
Just, hey, we'll be back for the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things, part 5. Part 1, we'll be back.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful, if you're watching this during the holidays, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and happy holidays. And that's it.
Yep. All right. Bye, guys. We'll see you
Bye-bye.
guys next time. Bye.